everything, right? When you have that environment in a team, you're trying to, as we talked about, you're trying to bandage the solution, right? You're trying to make up a scenario within the team where you can mask the issues. And so far, they're doing that well, but that's when the individual skill comes in. If Saibu is having a good game, it doesn't matter whether or not there's a little bit of lack of synergy in a 3v3. If he's going to kill 3 people anyway, and that's what they're talking about when they want the individuals to step up.
Yeah, and that's a really good point coming up against Navi as well, particularly as we've seen a bit of a shift around in terms of this in-game leading role. I want to get your overview of what we've seen of Navi coming into this tournament with all the changes going away inside the squad.
It's been good without being great. Let's put it that way. I think Navi so far has played a decent tournament. They're in the final, obviously, great result. But it's the win against FaZe that is like kind of left me puzzled in a way. What does that mean? The way they absolutely destroyed FaZe Clan in that game, the way Simple destroyed them single-handedly on Inferno, left me wondering, okay, is that the Navi we're going to see in the future, or was that a one-off? We talked to Kerry and he said nothing worked for us, right? We just got completely outplayed. We didn't really play up to our par, and obviously Navi had preparation going into that one as well. But when you beat FaZe 16-6 and 16-1, there's a statement to be made right here. That was the peak level Navi. But outside of that, it's been shaky, right? The loss against OG wasn't too good. The win against OG, sure, yesterday, it was a good win, but they were pressured on all 3 maps. So I don't really know where to put Navi right now, which is also why I think the final in itself is going to be crazy, crazy close.
You talk about maps, Jacob. I want to point your attention towards something on that graphic. From the big moment on, there's only 3 different maps that Navi have played. It's Dust 2, it's Inferno, it's Mirage. These are the 3 maps that we have seen from Navi. I don't think it's foolish to think and anticipate that there might be issues on some more tactical maps where maybe Electronic hasn't exactly found where he wants to play. How does he want to play? We know on Dust 2 it works. Hell, the man is a beast already in his role. But I'm talking about the overpass of this world, the nuke of this world. To win a grand final, you gotta have to have a deep map pool. Is this where we start to see issues and weaknesses potentially for Navi?
And you're putting Nuke in the card right there. Nuke, a map that Vitality have won twice in a row. First against Ents, yesterday against G2. That could be a comfort pick, you know, or potentially a punish pick coming in for G2. For Vitality. Despite the fact that we know Navi, at least under normal circumstances, with Boomers on the lineup, were a great nuke team.
Yeah, I'm really excited to see exactly how that map veto does play out. But I am excited also to hear from Danny. He has a moment from Navi and their team chemistry coming into this one.
Yeah, that's correct. So Navi, despite having them, have an IGL swap, it doesn't really change the actual chemistry within the team. And I have a round that kind of demonstrates that. So right here, this is a round from yesterday where, they're going for a simple B pop here. SDY, he comes out, he ends up dying. What I actually want to focus on here is more so the post-plant situation. So 3v3 situation, and Simple and Electronic, they're going to position themselves in 2 different spots. So you'll see that Simple, he's going to be playing here more towards Catwalk, and then Electronic, he's going to be here towards Van. Now Bit, he's pretty far out of this picture, so it really relies on both Simple and Electronic to work together to hold the site off as much as possible. What you're going to see here is that they're both going to be holding different areas. And actually, I want to back that up just a little bit. They're both going to be holding different areas. Simple is going to be holding towards Market, and then Electronic's going to be holding upper B. What you'll see here, though, is that when Simple takes contact on the player towards Market, and Electronic, he's going to take contact on the player towards upper B, what they're going to do is they're going to do a bit of a swap. Simple, who was watching towards this Market position, he's now going to watch towards upper B. And Electronic, who was watching upper B, he's now going to watch towards Market. And this is because for the CTs, they know exactly where both these players are. So to combat this, they're going to do a little swap here. And you see that it works out for them perfectly. So Simple, instead of watching Market, now he watches upper B. And then Electronic, instead of focusing on upper B, now he peeks towards Market, he gets that kill. And then Simple is able to find that kill on the player upper B. And you can see how difficult this is for the CTs, where Flames, he's coming through this Market area. Even though he knows where both of these players are, it's difficult for him to figure out who should he actually fight. And he ends up dying to the side to Electronic. And the same thing with Piku. He tries to isolate with the smoke, and he ends up dying to Simple from the catwalk position. So that's why it's so important that even though Navi have an IGL swap, it doesn't change the chemistry that they have when it comes to these mid-round situations.
And that's what's been really impressive so far about Navi coming into this. The fact that we had a lot of questions about exactly what Electronic would be delivering as an in-game leader, let alone his individual ability as well, doesn't seem to have been affected all that much on the maps that we have seen, Matthew.
I mean, they had so much to prove showing up at this event. We had so many questions when it comes to Navi. Some of us, I myself included, thought it's possible they just crumble. Right? How hard is it to change your IGL, to have one of the most consistent fragger in the entire scene, the name of Electronic, going up to be an IGL, when we have all these legends and myth about, you have to be an IGL, suddenly you're not putting out the frags, I was thinking there would be a disbalance, there would be an issue. I didn't know how SDY would show up or not. I didn't know if he would seize the opportunity. So many questions we had, and yet they shut us all up, and they're still in the grand final.
While I don't want to take anything away from Electronic whatsoever, or Boomich for that matter as well, I wasn't really that worried when I think about it, right? I never saw Boomich as this kind of demanding in-game leader that was controlling the team on the server. It's always been Boomich and Simple and Electronic in tandem working together, and then Blade. I think Blade is the pivot point right here. I think Blade is the catalyst behind the success of Navi in terms of the way he's coaching, in terms of the way he's preparing his team. So yeah, of course, it's impressive that Electronic is coming in, running Navi. So far, so good. We haven't seen him on Nuke. We haven't seen him on especially many maps, right? But what I do want to say is that Electronic has been under the system for a very, very long time. So had you changed, let's take it as an example, Kerrigan from FaZe, it would have been a much, much bigger problem than it is changing Boomich for Electronic on Navi.
Fair enough. I was just wondering, as you were making your point, I was wondering if you could apply that to Zonic, because I think Zonic is definitely in the GOAT category when it comes to coaching. Would that be the same thing for Apex? Is Apex definitely not following the steps of Electronic?
On the side of Electronic, there's opening ability as well. He's just looked so lethal in terms of making space for Navi.
There's nothing better than when you have an in-game leader who's in the center of the map and who's able to win his opening duels. You see all modern in-game leaders trying to do it. You have the likes of Glaive, LXCB, even my old teammate MSL, love to be in the center of the map. I guess the disability for those guys is they don't have the individual skill as Electronic, right? When you have an in-game leader who's in the center of the map, who can get the kills, and from that point call the rest of the team around and control them, that's when you have an in-game leader who can really dictate the game, not only in terms of fracking, but also in terms of calling.
Yeah, but that's why I'm surprised that Electronic is doing so well. Although there is the coaching staff, although the game plan might be built, you're talking about these mid-round lurking positions where not only do you have to analyze what the hell is going on around you, you have to think through your timings, you potentially have to communicate, micromanage what's going on around you, and then on top of that, you have to make the difference individually.
Yeah.
And that is that Sudoku of issues that IGL usually can't, prevail. They will be looking at the radar, they'll be talking, suddenly they won't take an actual clear duel. That right here is the challenge of being an IGL that's fragging, doing all these things at once and still winning the duel.
I love it, but that's what we've seen Electronic do from the get-go. He's always been in those positions. And take as an example, when we're watching him play Dust 2, for the vast majority of the times he's playing, he's always going to be up catwalk, he's always going to be out middle, trying to find the opening kills. Even when Boomich was calling, I bet you it was Electronic controlling some of those rounds, saying that, okay, I'm listening to rotations right now from catwalk, let's do X, Y, and Z. So he's kind of comfortable in that scenario already. He has been mid-round calling, and that's my point, right? I thought Electronic, the way he was working in Navi before, was being sort of like the secondary caller with Simple, so it's a way easier transition for him coming in now, playing the main role, being the in-game leader.
Yeah, no, it is a very good point, a testament to both Electronic and the Navi system through and through. Somebody that we did have some more questions about, though, as well. SDY coming into the equation, obviously, we know enough him mostly from his tenure on the side of Team Spirit, but still questions about what exactly he would be bringing to the server. Have you had many answers to those questions, Mike?
Yeah, I think he's done enough. The reason I say that, and I won't praise him too much, is that I don't believe his role is too demanding. I think he just not have to mess up. That's why SDY has to do. He has to be reliable, he has to be solid and stable in his position. He's not getting a lot of space, he's not getting a lot of resources, but as long as he doesn't cost Navi rounds, I think he'll be fine. He seems to be a very selfless dude. We talked with Dexter about him, a beautiful human being, that's great. I just want him not to be a liability. I don't think we should ask more from SDY, and in that regard, I think mission accomplished so far.
Liability is the key word right there, Matthew. He cannot be a liability, and he hasn't been a liability so far. Take Dust 2 as an example. The way he's playing the TT side, they're carry. He's not a fragger, but he's doing a decent job.
Well, it wouldn't be a correct death segment about Navi without talking about the GOAT himself in Simple. We have a few words from him with Parla earlier on today.
Simple, great to see you. How are you and the team doing today?
Great. Prepared already, and finally we know what maps we're gonna play. It's gonna be a fun final.
What has the mood like been in the team whilst you've been going through your preparations across the morning and the afternoon?
It's great, especially when you have result. You just know that you're progressing, you're fixing your mistakes because you want to win this tournament. And even if we had small time of preparation with new player, we still always want to get this trophy.
Simple, are there any extra nerves personally for you considering we're in a grand final?
Not really. I think more about my team. How's they gonna react on this final, especially Sunday Jan. So hopefully everyone's gonna be calm and we're gonna play our game.
Simple, you have had a brilliant personal performance across Blast Premier Spring Finals here in Lisbon. Can we see the best Simple yet in this grand final?
I hope so. I hope so. this questions. Of course, individual I can always deliver, but as I said, it's always depends on whole mood of our team.
Simple, thank you so much. Any words to the fans watching?
Yeah, thank you guys. I hope you all enjoy this game.
Great words there from Simple. This is going to be an absolute banger of a game. And you guys at home can have your say over on blast.tv. Make sure you go over there to vote for who should be coming out in front of this incredible crowd on the stage first. It could be either Vitality or Navi. Make sure you get your votes in over there. But as Simple was saying, you know, just going to full focus, play their own game, which has historically worked quite well for the match.
I mean, I think it's the best answer we've gotten in interviews. Play your own game. But in the case of Navi, please do not adjust the TV, do not adjust the brightness nor the volume. We have the correct information. It's been 18 months since the core of Vitality, since Misuta, Saiwu, and Apex were able to take down the Ogres of Navi. There was one best of 5 during Pro League that was extremely close as can be, but the domination could not be more one-sided. Simple has Apex right in his back pocket.
There must be some emotional damage within Apex right after so many games where every single time they ended up losing. And look how many of those games Simple has not only Apex in his pocket, but also Saiwu in a lot of those matches, right? And that's the duel we're going to talk about later.
The domination is established. It has been established time and time again that Navi, full functioning, full force Navi was a better team. He's a better team than Vitality. But the reason why we have this debate is that we are rightfully wondering whether we're going to see 100% Navi. There are many different circumstances now when it comes to IGLs, standing and whatnot. That's why we can dream. That's why we can hope.
Yeah, this is what makes this grand final matchup going into this so damn exciting. We can get the picks and bans rolling on in, which is incredibly exciting in itself, because some questions about, for me, the Vitality pick in this one, that could be kind of tactical.
Yeah, we can get rid of Ancient and Vertigo. I'd be very surprised to see them right there. Now, for Navi, they've done a couple of different picks throughout this event. I think Dust 2 is a possibility. I think Mirage is a possibility for them. These would be relative punishes for Vitality. I don't think Electronic is going to steer too far away from that. He sticks on with Mirage. Now for Vitality, this is a true test of the depth of their map pool. If they have the cojones, there is an overpass or a nuke that could be there. You want to push Electronic onto a map that is extremely tactical. And there we go. Here we go. Vamos. He picks the overpass. Now that's a risk. We've seen them break their teeth on overpass a couple of times. It's been a little bit better, but this is where you test the limits of the map pool for Navi.
They had a very good overpass game against Inns, so that must bring the confidence for Vitality to pick overpass, but I honestly would have loved to see a nuke pick. I think that's one of the maps where you really would channel Electronic and SDY as well into a very uncomfortable scenario. Unfortunately, we're not going to see nuke. Navi, wisely enough, removing it, and then we have Dust 2 as a third deciding map. I like that for both teams, and hear me out right here. Navi have picked Dust 2 a lot of times so far in this tournament, so obviously for Navi, that's a comfort pick right here. But Vitality is a strong Dust 2 unit. They have also picked into Dust 2 against a couple of teams here, so it's a middle ground where both teams feel comfortable, and we have a map pool including both Mirage and Dust 2, and that opens up the playing field for all these individuals that we love to talk about.
I would have loved to see Vitality go for Inferno towards the very end, but I have to acknowledge the defensive issues they've had recently. And to me, that's the reason why away from it. T side, I think they have a good grasp of the tactical side of the map. They have good timing, but the defense hasn't worked out. The B side's been an absolute Swiss cheese, if you allow me the expression. Holds more than actual cheese. So they have to go for Dust 2 towards the very end, but the second man we have right there walking around, Electronic, man, that's been his castle.
Yeah, let's continue to look at the individuals on the side of Navi and talk about the man right in front here, because Pimp, you are highlighting just how dominant, just how persuasive he's been on these land stages before, and you were hoping to see more from him, because in the early stages of the tournament, we kind of somewhat lacked the impact from him. Are you content with what you've seen?
I think he's all right. He had a couple of rough matches. I remember an Inferno game where he went completely missing, but outside of that, Bit has been playing some decent Counter-Strike. What I want to bring up as a point right here is that Bit is getting a lot more responsibilities on his shoulders. We're praising Electronic right now for being a great in-game leader, for being a great fragger as an in-game leader, but as Kerrigan so rightfully said, there's going to be a day when that's going to chime down just a little bit. There's going to be a normal work day for Electronic where he's not going to pull off a 1.4 rating as an in-game leader, and that's when you need the firepower of Bit to come in. We talked about him during the major. We talked about him when they won the Stockholm major as well. He was doing a great job, but now we need to see him involved into that, I guess, known quantity, a guy that you can always count on, because if we go back to the Navi as of before, where it was always Simple and the rest, that's not a Navi that is the world's number one, so we need to see
6 months. It's been very rare that Bit disappointed us or went missing. But the question that I have is, under the chaos, are you actually able to find your way into the darkness, to find your way into the shadow realm if you are a bit? Because I agree with Jacob. We often talk about how firepower compensates lack of polish, tactically speaking. Sure, around, maybe there's a flash missing. Maybe your smoke is mistimed. Maybe the trade isn't exactly great. You need an individual to step up, maybe deliver a couple of headshots. Suddenly you're back on track. Bit is the man we're looking for in that regard. And I think he's been delivering it, but he's got the great assist coming his way.
He's the future of NAVI.
Yeah.
He is the future of NAVI. There's going to be a day where Electronic and Simple perhaps is not going to be around anymore. And I think Bit is the franchise player coming in for NAVI. You have the likes of Bit, you have the likes of Monacy, some of these young prodigies who are coming into the scene, taking everyone by storm. And I agree. I think we've seen Bit being a known quantity, but I want to see him take this step, I guess, further. Electronic for the longest period was the second best player in NAVI, but he was the second best player in NAVI by being the fifth best player in the entire world. That's the Bit I want to see more consistent.
In terms of strategic elements from the side of Vitality as well, sure, we had kind of a few things to be desired coming into this tournament. What has particularly impressed you about them, though, Jacob?
Well, to bring you back the memory lanes, right? You have this addition of Magix, Dupree, and Sonic coming into Vitality. And one of the things Astralis were known for was creating this nade, grenade damage, and utility, I guess, meta, let's call it that way. They've taken that know-how and brought that into Vitality. You see it right here from the CT side stats so far in this tournament. On average, they're dealing 40 damage every single round. And the reason why that sometimes goes a little bit unnoticed is this. When you have an M4A1S, you need 2 shots in order to kill an opponent if you headshot them. But if every single player is already down 10 damage, or a couple of players is down 20 damage due to the utility damage, then you should have a much easier time on the CT side. So to compensate for the lack of firepower that we talked about when it comes to the individual and Vitality, they compensate just a little bit for that by being the best in the tournament with the ADR.
There's been improvement on the CT side. If we talk about the T side as well, I think we have a Vitality now that is accepting to slow down the pace a little bit more than they have in the past. If you remember, the signature Apex calling style was either 6-0 or 0-6. I either know how to beat you in the 3 first rounds, they're going to last about 27 seconds combined, and that's going to be it. In this event, I think like they have been playing the clock way more. But that also puts pressure on the quality of the protocols. When you have 25 left on the round, I guarantee you a flash missed, that's it. You lose the bomb, it's over. So you test the quality of your protocols. And I think Vitality have done much better now than they have, let's say, the past few months.
Yeah, and that's a really key evolution for Vitality going forward, and something that I feel like, I think Anders and Moses are picking up in one of the Na'Vi games as well. The fact that they were kind of pushing the clock sometimes. We saw maybe going back to the sort of more vintage style of Na'Vi too, leaving those rounds down to the wire.
Yeah, it's sort of the combination, right? It's always a balance. You've got to be able to do both. A team who's only able to play aggressive Counter-Strike, let's take Fury as an example, Vitality for being able to be aggressive and being explosive. We saw that on the T side yesterday in Nuke, where they exploded inside 3 times in a row and actually destroyed their opponents. So I love the fact that right now they're able to find a balance and again taking a step in the right direction.
The rounds that Jacob is talking about, these are low effort round, high on return on investment if you Apex. You don't have to think about it too much. You don't have to handle a late 3v3 situation where you have to micromanage 7 different factors at the same time. No, guys, split A, rush B, rush Ram, contact long. These are rounds that give you peace of mind when it works. It gives you a buffer to breathe, and they were able to use that against G2.
I think that's the thing that makes this matchup and this clash so exciting as well. The fact that we get to see Apex, somebody that we know is not afraid to get down in the mud, get down and dirty, but also Electronic as well with the opening ability that we have been praising to the hills. That's what makes me, again, just so excited to see another head-to-head of that going down.
And then let's take the addition to praise Apex a little bit. I think he's played a good tournament so far. He's been having some great calls, some great T-side. As an individual as well, of course he's not matching Electronic, and he won't be matching Electronic tonight, don't get me wrong, but Apex is back at a level where he's not a liability, which I think he sometimes have had the tendency to be for Vitality. So the fact that we have an Apex that is playing well as an individual, I guess loads up the headbanging we may get to see between him and Electronic on the circle.
And we need to see that. We know how aggressive he is. If Apex is having a bad day, he's got a survivability of, 12, 13 seconds into round. We were laughing about it in the green room. But suddenly, when he's in shape, when he's hitting the shots and he's being just a little bit more moderate, then he actually can have impact in late rounds. Because just as much as we like to pit him as this crazy guy, erratic rushing around, he's got a hell lot of experience. He knows how to play these late round situations. He knows how to handle shit. So try to survive, man. Like, survive more than 15 seconds and then have impact in the late round, because whenever he disappears, that obviously leaves a gap for Vitality.
You're asking for a lot here.
I mean, a man can dream, right?
Well, hopefully we'll get some answers to those questions as we are edging ever closer to getting this grand final underway here in the Altus Arena in Lisbon. The history books have favoured Na'Vi coming into this one, but a chance for Vitality to rewrite them. The grand final is going to be going down in just a few moments. Join us back after this. this very moment, and all worth it in front of this incredible crowd here in Lisbon. Everybody is getting fired up to see NAVI taking on Vitality in this grand final for the ages. Look at the energy here, Maniac. I mean, I can barely hear myself speak.
I can barely hear you, Freya, but remember when I told you playing in an arena isn't a birthright in Counter-Strike. You have to earn it. You have to fight for it. You have to deserve it. And that's why we appreciate these moments so much. That's why the players do what they do. That's why they put so many hours in this freaking game. And they butt their head against the desk like free just to be here against these people.
This is how Counter-Strike is supposed to be enjoyed, right? Online Counter-Strike is cool, qualifying Counter-Strike is cool, but when you're inside an arena with not only as a player, but also as an audience.
Truly the city of light here in Lisbon. But coming into this one, Mirage coming up as a first pick, Navi's pick coming into this best of three grand final. How are we setting the scene for them coming into this one?
Last time Navi played Mirage, I remember a guy called Electronic dropping a nuclear performance. I believe it was 35, 36 ranks in a game where he had a 3.06 CT side rating, the highest CT side rating I've ever seen in a top match. Electronic was killing it. So I hope if you're Vitality that you're prepared for that. You had the likes of Saivu feeling comfortable in Mirage. You have the likes of Magisk and Dupree actually feeling comfortable in Mirage as well. And then you have two weak links. I'm going to mention it right here. Misuta, we haven't mentioned his name even so far at this point, and Apex. Those two guys are struggling a little bit getting it done on Mirage. And those two are at least according to me, the win condition for Vitality. If they play well, there's a chance.
It's the toughest map for Vitality in this entire pool. I cannot say anything about it. I cannot turn the story in any way that allows me to hope for Vitality on Mirage. The only time we've seen it here during the event, that was against G2, and that was a very lackluster situation, very lackluster performance, only winning pistols, some rounds at the very beginning, but as soon as the guns came out on both sides, you could see Vitality being completely outclassed by LXCB and by G2. And I don't know how much work they've been able to put in. I don't know if they're going to be able to kind of figure out the issues. So if you're Navi, I think you got a good chance on that Mirage, that's for sure.
Yeah, is this clearly going to be Navi taking this map one here, Jacob?
I don't think it's going to be clearly. I think we're going to get a match out of it. I think, as was discussed, right, Saivu, he's ready. I think Dupree is ready. I think Magic is ready. I think Vitality is ready to give us a fight, but there's no doubt Vitality are the favorites on Mirage.
Well, it's time to get this show on the road, ladies and gentlemen, deserving of a hero's welcome here in Lisbon. Let's get this grand final underway.
taking on Vitality. If this was 2021, this was one of the best matches you could be looking at. But it's a new faced Vitality, you know, some Danish players come in, they finally make it to the stage here in Lisbon, where, well, if you remember the at least Astralis players that are now on Vitality had success here within Lisbon. They're looking to do it again, but Navi stand in their way. Now, Navi NAVI, changing in-game leader, bringing FDY in, yet they have still made it this far. Now, have some fun with me here, Lisbon. I want to hear you guys roar, but first of all, I want to see where this crowd is. If you're cheering for Vitality, make some noise! Okay, pretty good. What about NAVI? Now, if you just want an amazing grand final, Lisbon, make some noise! No. That was not good enough, Lisbon. I said make some noise! It's time for the grand final!
Nothing worth having comes without the fight.
Back, that's precise, and he gets another over the top. Gotcha. Filthy! Absolutely filthy!
Fight is necessary. The fight is inevitable. No matter the cost, no matter the sacrifice, no matter the pain. Every win lifts you higher. Every loss makes you stronger. Every trophy builds a legacy.
Their hopes meet Cyril Peak, stops Alexi B, and Jax is dead.
Only one team can become legends today. Lisbon. This is where heroes are made.
The crowd favourites in NAVI come to this tournament with recent changes to their roster, looking better than anyone expected. No strangers to the stage, no strangers to lifting trophies, but the route has not been easy. Now the NAVI Nation must stand behind them, behind every shot, and give them all their energy to help them raise the trophy here in Lisbon. Simple, electronic, perfecto, bit, and the new stand-in player, SDY, looking to find success here. This is NAVI! Vitality back on the stage in what feels like an eternity, facing their ultimate rival from 2021, but with a different colour added to the beams. All of these players have achieved great things, but they are yet to do it together. Here they must show us why this team was built and why the last 6 months meant something. They are built to be winners. They are built to be champions. Apex, Zoiwu, Misuta, Dupree, Magis. V is for victory. V is for vitality! The grand final is set. And this is what we're talking about. Dupree, how does it feel, man?
Yeah, it feels amazing being here again. I mean, look at this crowd, look at all.
nervous to go back on the stage after some time?
There's a little bit nervous, but it's a good nerves, you know.
Good nerves, that's what we want to hear. Now, Apex, it's been a journey. The crowd is still against you. This is the rival from 2021. But what is different this time? How can you stop this NAVI?
Well, I think it's been 1.5 years we didn't beat them. I guess it's a bit too long.
A bit too long. Now, Sundar Young, you mentioned to me at the very beginning of this tournament that this was a great opportunity for you. How important will it be for you to lift your first career trophy on a big international event like this?
It will be perfect, and I just want to say let's play some beautiful Counter-Strike.
That's what we're talking about. Beautiful Counter-Strike. Sasha.
Yes.
The battle between you and Saiwu. Now, Saiwu says it doesn't matter to him, but for you, you want to win, right? You want to be the best player in the world.
Yeah, but it matters better how we're gonna play as a team against them because it's always close games. And yeah, hopefully Portugal gonna cheer for us and we're gonna win again.
Now, it has not been an easy tournament for you guys. You're learning how electronics leading. You've got a new stand-in. But how confident do you feel to take the trophy here?
We're just confident from every game in our playoffs, and we're playing much better, and with our new player, it's a new good experience in finals.
That new experience is about to be here, delivered in this stage. Lisbon! Are you ready? Let's go!
Yeah, I'd say it's safe to say that Lisbon is ready to rock and roll. A grand finals that is deserving of a crowd like this.
Yes, I think they've definitely shown that they want to be here. It's been too long since we've been in Lisbon, and everybody has been so fantastic. And we've got the dream grand final in a lot of ways, with the amounts of history between these two rosters. And the story for me today is the team of vitality that were not only built to win championships, but the team of vitality that combined the best of vitality and astrology goes for vitality. These rosters were not only built to win champions, they were built to be the only team who could win championships in not as Vincier. So now they get a chance here in the grand finals in a LAN in front of a packed arena. And Magisk, in his interview with Paula, was talking about nerves. He said, of course, we're always going to be a little bit nervous, but they know how to win. All these players have picked up so many trophies in their long and illustrious careers that this stage, it should remind them of what's at stake, but at the same time, it should remind them of all their past successes, all the victories that they've had, all the amazing moments that they've been able to pull off in the highest pressure situations.
A NAVI, though, that's not necessarily the same, right? We're talking about world beaters. They were designed to defeat NAVI, but this is a NAVI that has recently made big moves. At Electronic, I mean, exceeding, would you say, every single expectation so far?
As an IGL, I can't honestly believe in the amount of time that they've had, which is very little, how good and how clean the team looks on all of their halves. It's been a revelation to have him, calling for this roster at the moment. I mean, they're even in a situation where Sundar Young, with very little, if any, crowd experience, is able to compete, help them take down some of the biggest competition. They literally beat FaZe in under 2 hours in a best of 3, which is nothing short of impossible these days in CS. So he was a part of that very much. We've seen a lot of role switches on all maps, CT and T side, and for the most part, there are moments of discomfort, but for the most part, it has been very solid. And for whatever reason, because Electronic can control the round and it doesn't make it about him, but understands where everything is happening, he's able to play better. That's the last thing we expected, right?
Yeah.
The number one story would be performance hit. It was the opposite.
The absolute opposite. Puts himself in the front of things and then continues to just show that there is even further depth. And when I saw that Simple was coming out in interviews saying, we could be better with Electronic, and Blade mentioned, yeah, this guy could be even better than Boomich in terms of this role, I thought it was just sort of fluff. I thought it's what they had to say in order to kind of prop him up in this last minute, kind of sudden change. But he's gone ahead and proven it. And now the question will be, for how long can he prove it? And the question will be, on the other end, of course, are we now being disproven that this project of Vitality has not failed? A Dupree and a Magisk that are starting to step up alongside Zywoo. With a slow start to the year, there are now a lot of pundits.
He has the numbers to prove it that this day should be no different. Of course, the only difference between a matchmaking game, a scrim you play, an official, a LAN group stage, a major final is the circumstances. It's not the game itself. That is always the same. And now, in a final, in a LAN final in front of the full crowd, the most amount of pressure possible, the stakes at its absolute highest, that is the only reason anything should be different for Zywoo today than it was yesterday.
And this is a Zywoo who's been in grand finals before with Vitality, but not alongside the Danes. Their first playoff matches in front of an audience, and they go from quarterfinals, beating ENCE, the world's #2, into the semifinals, busting down another roster who was just as desperate for a win, who needed this just as bad.
They showed they wanted it more, and that, I think that comes with having the veterans that they have. And also, we can only know so much, but looking at Zonic off the tack pauses, it feels like what Blade brings for NAVI, and it felt like the game changed a lot when he chimed in. Now, there are moments and there are maps that are not perfect here for Vitality, and I think that even though they can figure it out halfway through, the middle of a game, sometimes that's too late, and that might be an issue versus NAVI, who they are going to be the hardest team to beat here.
The hardest, the final.
3 upsets in a row is what they will be looking at, which is absolutely insane to think about. Thinking about the last 2 nuke games as well that they won versus G2 and versus ENCE, who again were 18-2, shows us that all these previous statistics matter somewhat for Vitality, but they don't define them right now. We're seeing a very special event take place.
Very special indeed, right? And while there were calls for the rematch of Katowice, well, instead we get the rematch of what was Blast Fall Final in Copenhagen just at the end of last year. That, of course, when Vitality, led by Apex, were still fully French. They walked into that match, they end up losing, but they still exceeded expectations, and unbelievably, even just within that game of Nuke. So let us set our expectations on what could be a phenomenal grand final in front of what has been a phenomenal crowd, because I have to say, Portugal, you guys have been special, and so I'm going to set this up. Portugal, I want to hear you roar!
Portugal, are you?
And we jump into Mirage. There's questions here for Vitality. Big questions. Desk said, maybe not much to believe in. Flash grenade on SDY. No utility here from Vitality. And right into round 1. Dupree opens. Where's that come from? Off of Cat. Magisk dead, simple. Finds it right back. A little peek into the window. Bit's gonna try to chase this around. Zywoo's ready. Oh, he sure is. 4 versus 2 off that one. Sumdai Young tries to get out from ramp. And Simple just keeps this one tucked inside the ladder.
Yeah, they're actually stuck at ends right now. I mean, so much information here for the CT side, and it looks like Navi are trying to change that as best as they can. Tag comes in. Simple with the signature P250. Already rang off in this round. Finds the other kill. Oh! That's the B site crack wide open. He's not done, though.
He goes back as if he hasn't had enough.
He said, rotate slower, son.
Goes in for the peek. Now, he's had the bomb the whole time. Sumdai Young just got info. Maybe we do get a helping hand to Simple. Or maybe he is the hand of God himself. 3 kills queued up. Tries to tap back. Oh, it had to be all Simple in the end, but Apex is his answer, and Vitality will pick up CT pistol.
Felt like they were actually looking at another 2v4 situation. Of course Masuda can stand there. His teammate just died in front of him. There's no way that Simple would be totally ready for that exact position, but the shot is unbelievable. And for Apex, controlling that USP for the guy in the back, SDY swung right in front of Simple. Of course, they didn't know exactly where Apex was coming from. Bomb plan still matters. But Vitality can rejoice. They won the rounds. It got very sketchy. Here on Mirage, we know historically, NAVI have been the best team on this map for an incredibly long time. And now there are other Mirage teams that can test them. Of course, it's a very sensible place to go inside of this veto. We've got maps here with a ton of history. We're looking at their fourth best map by stats. Made a home of Mirage and so have big in the past. No slouches whatsoever. Eastside not as kind to Vitality. Actually here, we have the one AK purchased up. Wait, whoa, one AK and one kill.
All they need is one.
Oh, what?
Or maybe two.
He was in another time zone. Apex, the headshot in, I mean, I feel like 9 times out of 10, you get some damage in that situation, but not the frag. Now it's 5v3.
Oh, that's quite wonderful.
Electronic is the other player with armor in this situation.
I love that Simple hands that AK to Electronic because, like you're saying, he's got the armor. Electronic turns around, gives it right back. Says, no, you keep going.
I'm not the one who got 2 kills this round.
Yes, sir. And I'm not the one who nearly single-handedly won them a pistol. Masuda inside of the apartments. He goes for the peek at his SDY sidearm to manage to put that bomb into the hands of Electronic, so he doesn't need the AK. And Team Vitality, they are nowhere to be found on this B site.
Jesus Christ. I mean, the double dink right there, the P250 off the push, you know, they had to do something. I mean, even though they have 3 guns, it doesn't really stand to a pack of T's in that situation, so Masuda missed a small timing. Of course, the double dink in from SDY. No chance to fire back. Magical look for some damage, but he can't even find that.
So, Dupree down as well. Simple adds another to the tally. 3 kills in the pistol, not enough. 3 kills in the follow-up, and Navi bounced right back.
It's actually astounding how quickly Simple can start off into a game. And again, we're looking at this from his POV, this crosshair, and that shot is just unreal, right? That's unreal.
CT's not going to be as well set up as Navi just were. No AK here for Vitality to try to answer, but what about the 5 Deegs?
Honestly, the complexion of that setup is still totally fine, as even if Apex takes some damage. World of difference in that one bullet.
Ooh, frag. Softens up Apex. Zaiwu tries. Apex spams, no contact. Squeezed by Vitality, sure enough, from both sides. But no clear opening. No killer conviction.
Man, the amount of confidence that we're seeing him play with at the moment, instantly taking space. They haven't decided to skill. What's interesting is how far away this AK is with the bomb on the other side of the map.
Simple waits a second, has Electronic to duel around with. And these 2 heavy hitters for Navi. Man, they're enough to just shred mere mortals.
That's huge, man. What they did right down, I haven't seen them do an anti-eco like that ever, actually. So that's the cap press up. And normally, you'd have 2 guys up in B-halls, and then you could split, no problem, versus anti-eco. In this situation, they go the extra distance. They forego the upper B push. I mean, they just killed Masuda pushing there. Maybe he's scared. And they say, well, let's see if they squeeze on the other side of the map. And then they get the 2 kills they need. 2 bodyguards up front can press up and make sure that no one can push in. SDY gets the bomb down. Totally secure. No shot for Vitality. And they didn't know about the players that were waiting.
You know, Dupree coming into this match straight up said, this boils down to individuals. The individuals on Vitality form as they were paid to do. And we've seen flashes of it. That's always been the tale, right? The glimpse of what could be. Pimp coming into this match saying that he still thinks we're only seeing maybe 70, 80% of what Vitality really has to offer.
Yes.
And if that is good enough to get to grand finals, that's one thing. But this isn't a team designed to get into grand finals. They're here to lift trophies.
Yeah, what's interesting is, in some ways, NAVI were playing at 100%, right, when they took down FaZe at this tournament. And they did it with help from STY, but not like needing the carry. There was no flash in the pan performance from the stand-in like we saw from Dexter and OG. It wasn't that at all. It was just the other players that we already know who stepped up to the challenge to prove that they could survive a roster move, and it worked out. Now, in all my years of casting Counter-Strike, I never thought we would get a situation where there would be a player like Simple, and I'm talking about ZywOo, who might have less help than Simple on their roster, and that is what ZywOo has right now.
Oh, are we sure about that? Magis tries to lean in. Electronic and Perfecto able to answer. And so the little hope that Vitality could have had here in round 4 is very quickly soaked right up. If you're going to miss an Incendiary, now's the round to do it.
At least it clears up the top of the balcony. Both can work.
Yeah, silver linings. SDY at the front of it. Perfecto right behind him. There's that Deagle on ZywOo. But we won't get too excited until he shows us otherwise.
Some of the clutchest shots that we've ever seen from ZywOo over on the Nuke in that ends match, in the match yesterday. Unbelievable plays. That scope shot in the Hunter in the vents.
I still
the play on the back of the site that he did versus NG2, once with the scout, once with the op. I really have no doubt that ZywOo and NAVI have shown that they are the better team at this event, and that Vitality are playing at a level that they know they can play at, but still have flaws. As they got better from ENCE to G2, they will need to get better from G2 to NAVI. And there's no real reason to doubt that they can do it. They've already shown us stuff that you couldn't predict.
Yeah, like Simple getting 2 kills inside of Palace to take back all this momentum. And now we see the extension of it. 3-1 to the lead of NAVI as Team Vitality finally get a chance to bounce back. No op, though, for ZywOo, and that'll be countered out by Simple, who's already off to that 7-2 start. Remember, 3 kills in pistol, 3 kills in the follow-up.
The cool part about the individual story for Vitality was that towards the end of the game versus G2, everyone came up clutch in a round or two, right? Masuda killing Monacy on that ramp push. ZywOo, of course. Magis from the upper site, the clutch 1v2 at the end to close it out. So many moments of brilliance. Straight up and taking a lot of control, of course. We know a lot of players in their usual positions. Oh, man.
Perfecto finds it. That's the ticket player down. But towards mid, there is the answer from Vitality. With that flashbang, they begin their cross. Apex taking the place of his fallen Magisk. And the utility's just going to keep that connector presence back enough for the bomb plant to go down. Oh, Perfecto, dangerous. But he comes off that bomb plant alive and kicking. And the T's just tuck back. Electronic could 100% catch them off guard. The utility comes through from Vitality, nading out what is Electronic's position, but Perfecto and Simple, well, that's 2 back for NAVI, and a man advantage with it. Bomb beyond the halfway point, and NAVI beyond the point that Vitality think they can take this back. They concede, and NAVI find 4.
The plan was susceptible, right? They had to put it down in the open. They were a little bit concerned. They wanted to get into post-plant positions. There wasn't that much pressure coming in from Vitality. There was no big flank as well in a round like that. SDY could have made a lap around to mid. They decided to play it standard, and that was actually just enough to scare Vitality, and they put their op in a good position. Simple got his frag. They denied that CT retake player. And Perfecto getting a ton of leverage here, or taking out Apex. It's to fuse him to put him in a position like CT spawn. Of course, it was great that he got there in time, but they could not stop that plant. How much money is left over?
But we've got a tech. Dead round.
Okay. No damage, so
it's fine.
All good. They could start that over. Nobody's seen anybody either.
Easy reset.
Round like that is a little bit troubling with the the way that it went down. It was around that. You look at the retake and where it's set up. You don't have a higher percentage chance of winning versus the team who's already post-blinded, but you have a pretty good chance. And it didn't feel like they had any as soon as they started to go forward with that. So they also had a good amount of utility as well. I thought that Navi went quite quickly towards A, following up on Perfecto's aggressive lurk up the ramp. And in that situation, they defaulted B for a couple of seconds. SDY tried to draw out some utility, but I think Vitality were pretty prudent about using it. They made sure they kept on to a good amount. They didn't fall for the lurk smoke. They didn't think a fast B rush was coming in, dropping all their incendiaries, but they didn't get that utility down as well as they could have in the retake.
Frag that did find Electronic. Let him just stay tucked for the time being. Felt like maybe if Apex is able to run in, get the quick sandwich kill, he'll find that dual point blank.
If you're just tuning into the event, of course, a huge story is Apex, and the same for Alexi in this tournament, being able to consistently have good maps. And Apex, actually higher peaks, maybe some lower lows. There was one bad game from him, I think, where it stood out, but for the most part, he had some games where he was top fragging. You know, he was far ahead of the pack, even on Nuke yesterday. There was a lot of moments where it felt like Apex was the reason they were winning. And that's great to see. And of course, again, in their most historic win over Navi, the fall final, it was Apex was the individual reason that they were able to win. So we'll see how much pressure he puts on himself to actually make that performance happen. But he should be riding the momentum. They're trending upwards so hard at the moment. They understand that these opportunities don't come that often. It's just not many LAN finals that they get to play together.
To think that this, project's been alive for as long as it has, and this is the first time they get in front of a stage, just seems unfathomable.
Yeah.
But let that be the evidence to just how difficult of a journey it has been. And I'm sure when they put this project together, they thought to themselves, it wouldn't be easy. But I'm sure they hoped it would have been easier than it has been.
Yeah, you can tell they made some kind of concessions. They probably came in saying, okay, we're just going to stick to English until everyone is really, really good with it, and then we can kind of work off that. Even in the mid-round situations, we'll demand it so that there's no separation. We're playing like as a team. I mean, these guys are hiking mountains and stuff together, right?
Yeah.
So they're trying to go that. But now they decided to be the most comfortable when the communication is the hardest and go for it. And it seems that's been working. Let's go tilt it. Yeah. It's funny because I don't think we would love Apex as much if he didn't get so tilted.
Yeah.
Everyone's like, get less tilted. You got to be careful what you wish for. That's where the energy comes from.
The source of his power, Vitality's power. I've noticed with Arcrum on the stage, you guys love to give us a chant or two.
Yeah.
Can I get one of those Portugal chants, please? You want me to start it or you got it?
Oh, wow.
There we go.
That was fast.
Louder! Louder!
Wow. Honestly, I was thinking, how do they agree on this? But the best part about this crowd, they're always on the same page. They're always on the same page. That glorious trophy. Back in the day at Blast, it was the one day in the stadium,
three games at the same time.
But now you look at that trophy and you look at the runs that some of these teams have had, the best of threes that they've had to play, and it means that much more. It's become so much more real. And just in time for all these wonderful storylines of super teams being put together, left, right, and center to take down Navi, coalescing.
Well, all those storylines continue to be told here because Lisbon, we're getting back underway. Of course, right off the back of that, Team Vitality decided to take a pause.
Okay.
From tech to tack.
Yeah, that's okay. They should probably talk about this. In the situation, save guns again. 2 as last time. Zonic getting involved, and that was something that was keeping our attention. In their last couple of series, it feels like he's taken a lot more of an active role. And I think more than that, it feels like his words are having an impact more directly. Like, even if it's before it might have been advice, maybe it was exactly how to call around. Whatever has changed has made a world of difference. The way that they changed, the way that they played on Inferno when things were going south, he said the right thing, they fixed it. Yeah, and here on Mirage, they need him. Such a fast start for Navi.
But a little cooler. And a chance for Vitality to bounce right back. Let's see. Double M Force. Simple postures that up over towards B side immediately, looking for somebody to jump up. Nobody there though. In fact, there's a good amount of spacing here that NAVI can definitely go and consume.
This is interesting. I mean, we've got both the guns working together. Oh, smart to smoke this.
It's one of those M4s, right? The few pieces that Vitality will have to work with. Sundai Young hits the dirt, so does Masuda. Now these M4s are in the right position. But can Dupree deliver? Oh no, tagged out from the left side. Perfecto gets vision over top of the van. And with it, the chances that Vitality's two M4s were gonna stop Navi come to an abrupt end.
They scaled so effectively, and they made sure to smoke out the crossfire, and they, yeah, that was SDY. He's gotten so many entries, actually, on Mirage, and I think with the conversation around SDY is that he has actually taken some space. He has gotten some roles that he likes. Some positions are new to him, but on T side, he's got to play that really selfless role of getting in first, and that can come down, that can make the difference, right? That's a situation where both rifles are in the B side. A 2v5 hit or hold, or if actually it was in a 4v4, totally viable. But he gets a kill without dying. They survive the rounds. One gun saved here for Vitality.
No, there was a chance for the second, but ZywOo not going to get to move anything forward.
You can see that bit spammed into connector and just was about to pre-fire the window, right? Didn't even wait for Apex to shoot him back. I think they shot at the exact same time.
So cerebral.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just... He knew he wanted some. Rips up Masuda.
There's Perfecto taking what little was left right out of it.
Yeah.
Navi now on fire. 5 straight off the back of the force by round 2. Good grenade damage, of course, but that's not going to stop Bit. He goes right back to bottom mid and decides to continue to tear up Vitality. Apex, a singular trade, but how about Magisk? Yes, sir! Off of Tetris, that's 2. With 15 health, he dies to the clock of Simple. Simply trying to escape, to try and offer us something more. Now, bomb needs to be picked up. That's been retrieved, no problem.
Yeah.
Another round where Simple decides to give us 3 kills or more.
They have Bit in the perfect position, kind of controlling everything in the center, as he normally is.
Masuda comes through. Does have a chance for individual duels, but that will certainly make things harder. He's got utility of his own. Such a dangerous game to try and go through that smoke, and of course,
flew down here. Instant shot, and another death for Apex through the smoke, this time by Simple. And Simple understands the opportunity with Magisk looking to reposition as soon as possible. Doesn't know if there's more players behind the smoke on the ramp. Flies up the stairs with only a Glock in hand. I guess it had been corroborated that he'd been hit down low or something, and he said, let me end this.
So he does.
Yeah. What do you, Vitality, have in their bag of tricks?
Currently just rolling down this steep hill. Oh, ZywOo though, that's one out of the bottom mid Deagle Peak. And not one of the best tools that Vitality actually have to work with. It was nice to see Magisk give us 2 kills last round. Now the tale will be who else other than ZywOo will be here if Vitality knock Navi down a peg. Magisk showing us a glimpse, but then showing Navi nothing else here in round 8. Middle is theirs, and there's nobody even close to try to challenge.
Wow, these defaults are so powerful, and there is an opportunity at mid if they wanted to take it, but Vitality have just been letting them have it, dying in connector. Another round where they have an excuse, right? Not everything that they need to work with, but we're talking about a 7-1 scoreline if Navi pull this off. 2 players on the B side hold. From last time, we'll get a second chance.
SDY back on the entry. Nobody behind Arch this time, so he goes really deep. So deep that Dupree's dead. Then the peek out of Magisk, done. Now they haven't found Masuda, but he reveals himself, and unfortunately doesn't take anybody with him. Apex tries to get in, but by the time he arrives, everybody else is already dead and done for. And as he reaches for the M4, that is the end of him. Navi, 6-round lead.
Yeah, it's like clockwork, and I'll give it a second, before, because we need to get back on utility, but we need to have a more proactive defense. This has been a consistent issue for Vitality. Figuring this out a little bit too late. They can let Bit walk underpass every round, but he is going to kill you if he gets comfortable and gets to the end of that. Killing him right away might be the best way to resolve the situation. Not shying away from the upper B push, and not only doing it when it's 3v5, doing it in the 5v5. No prophylaxis here from Vitality, and that's something that, again, as I stress, with the players that they have, why wouldn't they? Why wouldn't they participate more? Tactics, so testing the waters there could be a great idea. And the investment this time around is good. They have the money, they have the utility, they have the players, they have the op. Let's show a better face, Vitality. Play like you're winning.
It's a transition that we saw happen yesterday, and it worked. Zaiwu.
Oh, I mean, look at that. Instant into mid control as well.
Deep Peak looks for more. No, he's going to have to go above and beyond. Bit tries to chase in. Apex can't escape. Electronic hot on his heels. We get the smokes up. So because they transition into that mid-control, it does kind of give a pocket over to Navi to play within. Nade hunting down Magisk, drops him to 69 health. Man advantage, though, still for Vitality. But how about this position? Electronic catching Magisk off.
They have no idea that he could have been in that spot.
Oh, and then a bit of damage onto Zaiwu. Electronic, he could have heard that. Oh, and point blank, it is in fact Electronic to extend the advantage again for Navi. Round after round, kill after kill. Dupree starting to attack from behind. Sure enough, flanks right into the back of Perfecto, so the retake's on. Bomb half gone. CTs with the smoke, they could drop that on top, but Dupree would have to come out from the palace, and there is no kit, so they have to get this going. Subda Young to send them packing.
Oh man, that's Masuda gone. That was, a key trade right there. And a few situations with key trades, right? Magisk, Electronic does not sit at the bottom of stairs. If he knows that Magisk is tucked left pocket, it's a little dangerous for him. He's clearly crosshair-wise, wasn't aware of that situation. Magisk equally scared, doesn't hit a bullet. Masuda dies on this trade, trying to just stop this bomb from getting the fuse. Look at Electronic. He was worried about the window player. Not a chance in hell for that. And as soon as Electronic hears Zaiwu shoots, he gets into his outpost. He punishes the re-emergence of Zaiwu. And this is an early 5v4, man. Navi, full credit. They ran hard up the A ramp to put as much pressure on the one anchor that was left there as Zaiwu went to go help Magisk.
Trying to fire up this war machine. You hear Zonic even in between the rounds, just yelling, talk, just talk.
Yeah. You can lose playing passive, or you can lose playing with ideas, but one is much more dignified.
You want it, fight for it.
Absolutely. As Magis said, there's no pressure. No one's expecting them to win this series. The odds are 3-1 against Vitality. They should be playing like it.
Excellent play from Bit. Gets boosted up early. Dupree just walks right into his own demise. Magisk attempts the recovery, but that's also going the way of Navi. And so 10 rounds into this game, and we're looking at 9 for Navi. If they can just get through the weapons, those 3 weapons. And sure enough, the follow-ups, Electronic and Simple, continue to just tear up this A site. And every time they decide to get something going, it is theirs for the taking. A perfect round out of Navi.
Spacing is immaculate.
I want everybody to take a second. Look at the money on the side of Navi. They are almost all max cash.
Yeah.
This is just perfection.
That amount of money, they could buy the bank that owns Ninja's house. Touching on 14K here. Another easy frag for Bit. Been so aware of when he can get into window, does it with almost no help at all. And Yeah, look at the scaling though as they get into the connector. There are 3 players right behind this attack as well. Every time they peek, they see 5. But another round with some hope as Vitality invest and get that up again.
How many times before something just sticks? Again, they go towards mid, and ZywOo, not the first time that he sets up the 5v4. He survives the AK damage. Apex wants a little piece of this, but Electronic doubles back, and we get a quick move from Navi. Tech9 at the front, and Masuda, with the lesser of the rifles, is able to answer. Then Dupree comes in from underground.
Oh, yeah.
And that's Electronic dead. Finally, something from Vitality. Sure enough, ZywOo gets in, but Simple answers. And in a 1v5, his whole team dead around him. At the very least. So sure enough, Masuda from down beneath shoots through, and Vitality absolutely needs something.
Get in their face, man. That's another 5v4, but this time the conversion. That'll fire you up. You have Dupree going in for the underpass play just as ZywOo comes out here. And I don't know if that smoke was whisked inside of the window or if it was a CT smoke thrown out of the window. It doesn't look like that's how you would smoke underpass, but either way, it's an opportunity. ZywOo takes it. And we see how much that hit gets slowed down when SDY doesn't get the kill, right? They're still trying to continue for the same tactic. Oh, push into upper. Oh, and Perfecto gets one, but it's answered back.
They're fighting. And now the T's are trying to get drawn in. Magisk, his chance. 3 kills on the round. ZywOo wants to finish this. Sumda Young and Simple, we've seen their synergy. And they get away. Plenty of time to try and piece something together. But they lose map control as they do stick around towards the A site. It's Apex to go hunting.
Oh, these ones just look so classically good. Another opening kill, another bit of mid control, another potential flank coming in, and instantly Vitality or Navi into 2 players. Catch 22 no matter where they go at this point. They understand that. Looking for an unforced error here out of Vitality.
There's no questions for Vitality because they have that deep T spawn. Apex breathing down their neck this entire time. And time about to force the hand of Navi. Here he comes. He peeks out, and ZywOo, just the sidearm needed to end that. It is not much, but it is 3 for Vitality.
Yeah, Miss Molly there for SDY, but it doesn't feel like it would have mattered at all. It's this double push upper, right? First kill goes the way, actually, of Navi, but the trade back is huge. Matt just falling into the sight.
Nice multi-frag.
Yeah, that's the anchor we know. Locking it down with the rifle. They didn't have to stress the rotations back. They made sure Apex cut him off at the pass. On a good timing. It's been dominant, but this half could easily look alive in just a few minutes.
ZywOo, easy first test. Masuda and Dupree soon to be pressured.
Yeah. ZywOo, he has to worry about everything now, right? He doesn't know if Bit could be flanking him from the top of Con. Matt just taking his time to peek back and forward. ZywOo's no stress. Playing in this spot.
Hasn't moved.
Yep.
Sat still. Ooh. Delivers into Bit. The other offer on the other end. Oh, Simple gets hit by the incendiary. ZywOo just waits. And then that right side peek is his end. Simple finds it. Perfecto's been inside ladder the whole time, and now there's a question mark because not only do you lose Apex in window first, but you lose the connector player, and with that, any answers as to what Navi are up to.
It's just about thinking of when will the CTs get insecure. This is a spot where, of course, you have to split up, but where do you come back and get information?
Oh, shadow advantage not enough.
Wow. Swing duel here.
We've already seen Magisk deliver multi-kills from this position. Whether that's Tetris or inside sight, he's been solid. Now he hears them as they start to press into this A site. Sure enough, Some Die Young is dead, but it's Simple in his place. 16 frags already. He was able to answer Zywoo and Connector, and they give him enough space to make decisions. Masuda's got the kit, but Dupree, such little amounts of HP, and there's not one person in this crowd who doesn't know what Simple can deliver. He tucks in, silently awaits them. They get closer. They tap that bomb. A first in from Simple, but a wall bang from Masuda. And Vitality, by the skin of their teeth, continue to rack up rounds.
He had to bust out the power drill to finish him off through the box, and they make it happen. Magisk, I honestly thought he was going to die for sure without getting a kill. Used so much of his ammo in this spot, and still was able to control the rifle enough to take out SDY. That's raises their odds dramatically. And of course, in this one-on-one, who knows what happens if Masuda doesn't find that final bullet. But it's Vitality to pick up another. Dupree with the X Factor off of Cat. Demoralizing way to die.
A quick boost.
They search.
Testing Connector.
Seen him do the speeding up through underpass.
Dupree ready.
Oh, flash turn, and that's the side anchor down. Rotations are coming in, but there's no one left here.
A new position from Dupree delivers. We got a lot of feet from Navi inside this site. Simple, a little preoccupied, almost has a chance to turn that back onto Apex. So now suddenly Navi surrounded. From all fronts they fight. Such little HP for Vitality as well. And when you're just fighting for a mere 5 rounds, you have to think, can we take this chance? Is it justifiable? Is it even doable?
Oh, man.
They waste too much time contemplating the option, and now, sure enough, they have to let this slip. The damage is there from Navi, and damage is enough. 10 rounds on a T side that wins yet again.
They respect that T side advantage to be able to sit and wait. And okay, Magic, the last player with any help, and he'll take those duels. Perfecto dies. That's sub death, but moving in the last round, I'm not sure it'll matter at all. No, it absolutely will not. It'll be nice for him and his money, but I think they had enough saves there. Wow, Vitality, that must have been insanely hard to figure out and call as an IGL, right? 4 players alive ultimately, 3 players with no HP. If Navi made one mistake, they would 100% pounce on that, but it wasn't there. Looks like Masuda just needed the 1 kill on the hold. Navi on to 10.
We've had those moments of microaggression from Vitality. We've seen the peaks into the Palace.
Yeah, they're bringing it now. I mean, in that sense.
But this one a little bit more of the same. Masuda, sure, okay. Within apartments, but nothing too egregious, and instantly given up. So more of what wasn't working for Vitality.
Yeah. They didn't get him totally locked into that spot. Like how much value comes out of that single flash, right? His smoke comes through, he loses vision. And the idea is how great can we make this setup vanilla? Apex shooting again from the window. And they know who exactly that is.
Yeah, Bit has had such a problem. Dupree has been trying to be devilish on Cat. And Navi do let this one get down to the final 30 seconds. They've squeezed out the utility from Vitality. It's only Zywoo sitting on a frag.
It's actually kind of hard considering their spots to throw the nades down for the ticket player. So let's see. I think this is a great rotation, of course, from Vitality, as we can see.
Let's finish this half with a bang. 15 seconds for the 15th round. Bomb gets taken out. Apex double kill. And he's looking for a little bit more. It's Simple, last man up, 1v3, surrounded and done for. Navi bleed out that clock. And every single time it seems Vitality get to sprinkle just one more round in. We will be back, Lisbon, in just a second with the second half of Mirage.
Hi, I'm Twist.
Hello, I'm Zagu from Team Vitality. This is Christian from Big.
This is Alexi B.
And this is Buying Tips with Coinbase.
In this kind of round, I'm gonna buy Kevlar.
I'd say for a piss around with $800, I'm just gonna buy Kevlar.
I would most likely buy just Kevlar.
I think it just gives you the best chance at having a fair duel.
I think depending on the spawn, if I have a top spawn, for example, I will just buy Kevlar and peek into second mid.
Because of the fact that it's usually better to have the utility towards a B player or a player that is holding A long, for example.
You have utility on and piss around on A side. You're not gonna have time to use a utility when the hit comes in. It's gonna happen too fast.
2,800.
Obviously, I think I'm gonna buy some nade because it's really important. I would go for MP9 and Kevlar.
Light cap. And then I would buy an MP9.
This is the best advice.
Deagle armor or Deagle small armor and full nades.
If you don't have nade and if you only play with confidence, you're gonna lose because it's so hard. You have to play with some nade.
I'm gonna give a boring comment, but it depends if I'm the guy who is entering or if I'm the guy who's supporting the entry.
Like me personally, I like to play Galil.
I would like for me to have an AK and helmet.
At least one slot in flashes because we need that for taking B.
But obviously one of the options is just AK armor with the money available.
I mean, the nade and be a good teammate and going with the teammates, it's enough to go B side.
Like armor glow and util would probably be the better bet, just so pressure later with utility.
I would for sure buy full equipment, M4, Kevlar, the fuse kit of course.
M4 and full utility sets.
Open Kevlar, because I have enough for both.
I'll go for an M4 silence.
Because I'm used to flash for my teammates in there. I'm just gonna flash twice if the enemy is gonna attack long. Yeah, just try to survive, play with your team, don't stay in long all the time. Sometimes smoke it off and play in short with your mates.
I think when you have 5400, it's just like a normal default full buy anyway, so I don't think there's anything special to really do.
Make sure that you buy a flash for yourself just to have some cover, and make sure to buy some utility just to make it easier for you.
And so we find Navi comfortably sitting on 10 rounds after the T side of Mirage. But Mirage was meant to be a problem for Vitality. Should it have been this big of a problem? And even though we've seen good T sides out of Vitality in this event, is this going to be too much to handle?
I don't know. I don't think there's a team that I pretty much would ever pick against Navi on Mirage. That is the size of the task. It is absolutely colossal at this point. So obviously, they'll have to play better than they have been. But again, they've been breaking new ground. So why don't we wait and find out? Looking for a pistol now. So they start off with a 5-round deficit. Half 2, map 1, grand finals.
Perfecto taking first peeks. Vitality parading with utility into the B site. Oh, we've got a quick clash. Gunfight's all over, but a man advantage for Navi, and Perfecto taps them down.
Yeah.
4 frags to his name, and an 11th round to Navi.
You can make that the Maersk anchor play of the day, all right?
Yeah.
Because Perfecto is the guy to watch all in small sites. When he has to dodge flashes, I don't think there's anybody better. And a hell of a job right here with that aim. played an interview recently where he just talked, basically inferred that if Perfecto had more space on this team, he would be able to step up this challenge. I think he sees something special in Perfecto. And of course, ever since he's joined the team, he's shown us the best version of Navi in history. But that one could be damning.
Really is uncanny how Navi just continue to find exactly what they need with each of their roster moves.
It's no coincidence, is it?
Yeah,
I mean,
there's got to be somebody out there.
I mean, it's, yeah.
Maybe a man named Blade.
I think so.
Electronic with the MP9, dead after just the first. That's not going to be the end of the world for Vitality.
Oh, we casted Bit's first match, right? How nervous did that kid look playing on Inferno? That was the moment where it was like, man, he ain't ready. He's not ready for all this pressure. And the reason was because Blade shoved the textbook onto his chest and said, read all this while you're gaming. We saw him at every single pause, looking through the nose, trying to figure out how to play correctly. And he did figure out how to learn right. Focused on his aim later. And then that paid off as fast as you could expect or hope. I mean, you never know how well someone's going to do under pressure, but sometimes it's the preparedness that can help you with that pressure. And that's what they always put first. Well, it is a 3-on-3 situation. There is Zaiwu left alive.
Surely that Desert Eagle's not meant to do much. Surely they come out of the top of Connector and simply get wrecked by Navi, as they have in 11 other rounds. Sumdai Young guns him down with the A1S. 2 easy kills versus these unarmored Vitality players. And that, folks, is a 7-round lead as they get through the little tidbits that Vitality wanted to offer us in this one. But now it truly begins. I mean, it's already begun for Navi, but how about Vitality?
Yeah.
AKs up in their hands on a T side that we need to see blow us all away.
Seriously. And we saw SD. I think that's the spot where he stole the attention the most and delivered. If you look just at the stats, he's just kind of doing okay at the bottom of the board for all of his teammates. But if you watch the matches, you saw he's actually playing his spots very well. 4 rounds to go to overpass, and that'll be a real interesting affair. But for now, Vitality.
Little shoulder. Ooh, but it's Bit with the opening kill. Perfecto, he's doing such a good job of just keeping himself hidden. No trade out of Masuda, so he has to walk away. Swallow the pride and look to come at it from a different direction. Electronic's going to be locked into this. Molotov on his feet, nowhere to run. He's got to fight, and Zaiwu insta-headshot. As maybe there is a little something here for Vitality. They claw back man advantage. Movement here from Sundai Young. That'll be heard by Magisk, who runs the risk and walks out. And sure enough, we get a little life over towards that A site. Simple immediately takes it back down. His 20th kill on Mirage. And he's looking to be the first player to have 20 MVPs. This could be his event. This could be his history. Begins to write it on Mirage. Bit, well, he still just sits on that back site. He's got teammates all around. What's left of Vitality. Zaiwu tries to fight back towards Cat. Bit pushes in, drops that bomb. Here comes Dupree. A single shot is all he needs. Wow. We got life on Vitality.
Damn, they pulled that off, man. It looked like the spot was so good. That Bit made the move that he needed to. Simple picking off Magisk was huge, but you know what? Vitality in that 4v3 situation, they let Magisk go through with the lurk, but they already at the same time organized for the B split, right? They had the full intention to let him stay alive, get killed, whatever. Take all the attention. That was enough to give Vitality a chance, and Dupree pulls out the clutch. Won in rounds, but they have sucked the money off of all of Navi's bank accounts. They've got Electronic and Simple on M4s, full investment. Looks like they have a little bit of change of the hearts, right? I mean, they're actually coming back to search with the bomb in this situation. Thinking their plan isn't bulletproof. Meanwhile, Navi just chilling. I've seen Vitality take too much time sometimes. That is a problem on these T sides.
Could be yet again. Just missing the nade though, so timing works out in that regard. Remember, it's simple and electronic with the M4s. 2 pistols inside a sight. This Palace peak could be the end all. Electronic, he wants to get damage in. Continues to rack up, and simple shut out by Apex, but every member of Vitality is low. And Perfecto's still near enough to kill them all. Every single one of them could fall. Perfecto now also down into the 30s. Not a comfortable spot. Vitality a 7th, and only 5 rounds make the difference.
I mean, the HP looks scary, but at the same time, they save 4. They save 4. They move on to round 7. That's nice. They know that NAVI are broke once again. 2 and 4s come in. They get some damage. Oh my god. Okay. Yeah. Don't poke the Zyborg. Pace was good there. Got control of what they needed to. Hit the A site. Peaked all their choke points simultaneously.
Finally, a chance to breathe for Vitality as well. Just versus 1 Desert Eagle.
I think for all of us who've been watching CS for so long, like, and 12-8 looks so different than 12-6. Even if it's just 2 rounds, it just feels completely different.
I mean, you can literally hear that feeling. We got a Vitality chant. We got a ZywOo chant. Nice to know you guys are out there.
Hello.
But you better keep it loud, because the NAVI fans are coming back. Magisk over the ticket. Close pistol down. Not half bad. 2 kills come through. Don't let this be their end. Masuda, sure enough, recovers it all. Alongside ZywOo, they clamp down on what could have been a cost at the end of this, but there it is. 20 rounds deep and 4 the difference. Time for NAVI to buy back.
Nice mid-situation flash to make sure that there was no hope for those pistols to pull the retake off. Three straight. But the buy's great. We're actually talking about no kits here. Lacking head armor for NAVI. No AWP in play.
Electronic feeling frisky. They haven't had to deal with any underground issues. Contrast that to Bit's consistency with it. NAVI just looking to hold on to some grenades. They could be so valuable when the time truly comes. And this is the first test. 2 Ts out from apartments. They get swamped by Perfecto and Bit. And a smoke grenade for Bit to walk around with. 2 kills straight back. 3 versus 3. Bit in the open. Finds that head of Dupree and dives back into the cover, leaving ZywOo on his own. His teammate decides to end him. Magisk, 16 kills deep. A 1v3 and a back turned to a very lethal NAVI. There he goes.
Okay.
It's NAVI right back, 3 guns up.
Man, leave it to the B anchors right now. I mean, if they want to try to lurk out, of course, they've got to get through Perfecto once again. So good at taking the minimal amount of flash. And I think he eats it at first, but just enough time for him to see a player jumping out. Bit's got this covered perfectly. This is a matter of timings. I was holding that for what feels like days. Just as he turned away, his opponent turns towards him. Fortunately for Vitality, the buy gets 1 step better for NAVI. But still no op. Yesterday went from okay map 1 to unbelievable map 3.
Yeah, it did.
No telling what happens if it comes to a decider.
And of course, within that series, we also get the Inferno game where Vitality just, kind of limped away. People thinking G2 had it after that second. It's not over till 2 maps won. There's no real pressure here applied by NAVI. They're going to allow for Vitality to make the move they want, and that is to pressure outside ramp. The reason they want it is because Simple's here. And with that flash, it is a beautiful 2 kills. Electronic, an excellent assist, but just like last round, Vitality bounced back, and this time, they go one better. They get themselves into the advantage. They get themselves into the A site. Magisk can't manage to hold on to all of it, though. Electronic keeping this one lively. Shots to the top of mid. Perfecto falls back. 25 seconds. Bomb separated from its teammate. We've got individual 1v1s incrementally working towards one another.
Oh, he got the info.
Perfecto has a clear picture as to what's up. Meanwhile, Electronic, he gets dropped to 28, and Dupree, he just sits. That gives space to Perfecto to try and pressure that site instead. He wastes no time getting away from that mid-fight, but the bomb, of course, is still planted for Dupree. Electronic's got the kid, no smoke for it. Dupree peeks up, a couple of taps. Electronic, all the way! Ice cold!
No way, looking down, trusting Perfecto. That's a guy you can believe in. Staying alive, dropping a smoke, finding a way back and into connector, getting up into the site, dodging twice at the top of connector, getting to the stairs, and helping his teammate just by staying alive. That's why we talk about Perfecto. And he's body blocking so well, you can't even tell the bomb is still stuck. They had no idea what to do about that. Can't understand how hard it is to figure out how to make all those decisions and put them together in that sequence so well.
And make it happen. You throw a smoke in there, okay, I get it. To just stick a defuse in the middle of the open.
Man, you know, I was thinking, is he rotating out to upper B to go back to mid, to go to stay and wait an underpass for that lurk? No, he got in the middle of that.
Simple setup again. Flash is over, both CTs back.
Wow, this is a full court press here from Vitality. They'll be coming in a little bit later, but got info early as well. Top boxes did not get mollied in this spot. Actually, there's just not one available here. Simple for purveying the scene.
Getting closer and closer to peeking down. Oh, but he floats. He was on top of Electronic. Yeah, I was like, man, how's this guy floating?
It's like the trench coat with 2 kids, you know? We've seen Cloud9 use that boost recently on Mirage. It works really well to get full view of the underpants. Yeah, I know what you mean.
There's a fight. Oh! Bit!
Are we playing Quake?
Just the checks off of the ladder. Perfecto comes through with the ticket peek. We're right back to the 2v2. Low health, though. You know, we said Vitality yesterday over G2 just had that little bit more clutch. Well, with such little health, Navi shooting for 15. But the calculator, that is Zywoo. Known about Bit. He's in the open, and Zywoo goes down smooth.
Hey. From one great rookie to another. Bit shows him what's up. Low on health. Nice attempt in the clutch, but no result. And look at this. I mean, oh, that's a tilting way to go. Bit persists right throughout every sequence in this round. Match point done. And Navi improved a lot, right? Not only have they just dominated in the first half, pulled out the second pistol, but even though they let rounds slip in the second half, in the mid-round situation, they proved they were the better team consistently. Lost maybe 1 3v3. Outside of that, no issues whatsoever. Massive comeback required here for the Frenchmen and the Danes.
Mirage just simply seems out of grasp.
It does certainly feel like it. And it's one of the final pieces here for Simple in this story of him looking for his 20th MVP. It's another unbelievable performance. We've seen later in that second half, Zaiwu started to open up rounds. He's gotten a couple of very important kills, but not really. He's really just in the shadow, I think, of Simple so far on Mirage. We'll have Overpass to look forward to, of course. Vitality's been down to their bottom dollar.
And a curious, Simple hunt. Smoke will stall things out, but we do get a cross from Apex. Oh, down he goes. Young looking for another bit. In the meanwhile, he's got 2 kills. And in a 4 versus 2, it looks like Navi keep it gnarly on Mirage. Masuda hoping to thrash back. Bomb picked up.
Oh, I mean, I don't even know. Can they even commit to this site right now? They have absolutely no utility left over. 3 of the Navi players are playing together. No one's in spawn at the moment. I just feel like they need a bit more action.
And this little easier. If Masuda can't cross over, then at some point, Magisk, he's going to have to just try to plant with an absolute gamble. A hope that nobody pushes in from Ticket, unless he decides to go clear it, but he only has 10 seconds left. Oh, and Masuda, he gets cleared off. Magisk, he knows Perfecto's going to run. Does he have the time? Absolutely not. A red flag raised on Mirage coming into this matchup. Our analyst said Vitality shouldn't have it, that Navi are simply too strong. And with a lights-out performance from Simple, sure enough, this first map goes down easy, 16-8 for Navi.
Yeah, like a glass of milk right there. That's the Mirage they know. That's that level they showed versus FaZe. Doing it in the finals. Vitality have their work cut out for them.
We will switch to Overpass, of course, a map that we've watched Vitality recently work on, show improvement. They tried to pull it out back in Antwerp. It cost them. They got absolutely dismantled. But those improvements, whether it's on T-side specifically, we'll find out. For now, we hand this down to James Banks with an interview with Blade.
A very convincing Mirage to start off with there. Things look like they're very much sorted out, at least on Mirage. How do you feel about that one, though? Some mistakes still?
I think really confident, and we just play our stuff. We just communicate properly, don't panic a lot, so focus is very good.
Now going into Overpass, I've got to ask, how prepared are you for that? How does Electronic feel on that, having to lead it? We haven't seen you play it.
We didn't play it yet, but we practiced it, and it looks good because Samdeyang is on city side. He is changing Boomage. Boomage was on rotation, not a hard position.
Okay.
So we will play all our things that we played before. It's good, and we start city, so I hope we will snowball.
You want to snowball it? You want this 2-0? But how hard is it for Electronic to come in and lead on a map like Overpass?
I think he's fine. He's just trying to understand where he's wrong, what he makes. So no problems now.
No more mistakes now. Let's see if we can get it done. I've got to ask as well, right? For you, obviously you've had to fit in a new in-game leader, fit in SDY. How much extra work has this taken to slotting this in?
It's the same work that we made with Boomage, and now I just want to see how Electronic is, how much comfortable he is.
Yeah.
To know what I need to add, what I need to help.
Well, Blade, good luck and go get everyone on with all the Overpass stuff. Lisbon, make some noise. Let's bring the hype. Let's keep it going.
Like I do the song with my mouth.
Interesting, I've never done that one before.
It's gonna be pretty hard.
For me to make some sounds. Firearms is not very relaxing in my opinion. Just like that. Clink. Tick, 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 tick. Ta 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 ta. That wasn't very consistent.
Navi looking lethal as theirs and their fans' battle cry loud and proud on Mirage. And at the tip of that spear, of course, it was simple. Incredible impact early on. I might sound like a broken record maniac, but he was instrumental in terms of that flying start for Navi on this map.
There's no other way to put it. Simple was the hero of that game, and I don't care about the rating. I don't care about the fact that Bit has a 148. I don't care about Perfecto's 135. It was Simple, and his 1.32, but Simple's start is what put Navi on the map in the grand final. He took the key to the castle and gave them to Electronic, said, listen, dear IGL, hereby I offer you the win of this first map. Please accept my offer as I pledge my life to Navi. Now Simple did it again. He does it again.
Yeah, maybe a little over dramatic in that regard, but I agree with you. T-side of Mirage is getting off to a strong start, and Vitality on the other hand getting off to the worst possible start. I have a round two I want to bring up as an economy clip right here, because that is the worst possible start you can get if you're Vitality. You win the pistol, Apex doing a good job, and then this happens. Simple happens. As you said, Matthew, with an AK-47 in hand, of course, he's the guy you're gifting in this one. Getting the first kill and then going back in for the second one right here. Apex do not have a chance of getting off to a good start. You may have a chance of making this game competitive, but when Simple is delivering so well within the first 5 to 6 rounds, I somewhat agree with you. He was offering the win to Navi early on.
You cannot make a mistake against that Simple. Right here, right now, Apex makes a mistake. Zywoo gets found by Simple in the apps. The information is supposed to be relayed. That's supposed to be clear. Apex takes a chance, takes a risk, leaps over jungle. Simple insta headshot. Yeah, that's the highest level.
And it was absolutely incredible as well, because Navi then went on an absolute terror form, a huge streak for them on particular in terms of that first half. Round 9 was a moment where Vitality might have had a road back into it, but Electronic, he said no.
Yeah, led in the half, Vitality found some footing, find some oxygen, some breathing room, but Electronic did them dirty in this round 9, and we're going to talk about the genius that this man have. It starts with Zywoo and opening kill onto Simple, basically the perfect scenario for Vitality to kick things off. Apex to find one kill, and then it's Electronic with the trade, but then the game sense, the V-step from this man, he's going to be crossing that smoke towards stairs, holding Magisk, great flick, and then he changes his position. He does one better. He knows that his position is known, so what does he do? He changes it. He's been proactive, he's been assertive, and he's going to hide against that pillar, surprises Zywoo, and just like that, Electronic secured round number 9. Look, we talked about the woes of Vitality on the CT side. It's not the first time in this event that they have a slow start, that they go on missing. Remember, CT side on Inferno against G2, too.
Yeah.
But my point was, and still is, whenever you have an opportunity to win a round, that was it right there. That was their opportunity. You can't miss it.
Yeah, and they were unable to be taking that one. But Vitality is their map pick coming into Overpass as the second map of this grand final. And Danny has a moment for us to be looking at. What have you got for us, Mahal?
Yeah, so coming into Overpass, this is obviously Vitality's pick, but what's more interesting is actually that Navi haven't played this map with their new roster yet.
Rush. Well, the good news or the bad news? Only was it a win, but it was... And what's the
At least out of the maps they've lost, Vitality took down Heroic.
Okay.
At the same major.
Okay.
Magic carry.
Okay, and you want to know the best news?
What is it?
Well, the best news, you're in Lisbon!
That's true. That's true. That's true. That's great. That's great news. It's never bad being in Lisbon.
And this crowd wants a little more CS, so let's do it. Navi, Vitality, Map 2 at the Blast Spring Finals, Grand Finals. And immediately, Navi to the CT side, take into Connector.
And it might be a great response. You know, middle of the map play, of course, is very normal on pistol rounds. Vitality doing a lap so they can clear out some of these usual positions. And no information is still information here. They don't find anything, but they're at the same time holding on to space. Wow, this I think is a counter to the setup right now. Game plan coming through for Vitality. Look at the rotation, it's delayed.
Yeah, it's perfect. In fact, I mean, Dupree, he'll just be allowed to sit here and wait and hopefully strike at the right time, but has that timing gone by already?
Yeah,
He really holds.
it's just waiting for him exactly. Can't find him right now. Dupree coming in slow.
Ooh, nice and slow. And Sumdai Young catches Masuda first. Dupree trying to chase it towards long. There's the Gushin frag behind it. That's going to allow for the long player in Zywoo to just try and lock in. Apex known to be towards bank, double kill. Held down on Zywoo. Apex low. Perfecto pushing in, but Zywoo's got cover from boxes. And now Sumdai Young's got to prove his worth as the stand-in. And down he goes at the hands of Dupree. That extra late lurk comes through for Vitality's T-side pistol.
That was clearly a demo round right there from Vitality. Just off of that. Okay, maybe 40% of the time they go with the stair stack. Let's wrap around long, and Dupree waits for all the rotations to have enough time to get decongested in the stairs, come up through the bathrooms, and he enters the fray at the exact right moment. Taking out Bit and getting the final kill of the round as well. That's a great sign. That's a great start and a great sign.
Quick impact into the B site. Vitality gonna find this one for free.
Okay.
About as free as things can get.
It's almost nothing these days.
Damn, man. Simple doesn't even get to shoot that deagle.
Yeah.
That's why I'm here.
Yeah, that's the best way to beat him. Avoid him. Well, so far so good. Two good kind of game plan rounds. They picked the open site on the conversion. The pistol has Navi guessing completely. And I think in a more normal situation, Dupree might just take that peek a little earlier, try to fight them as they're coming out of the stairs, but kind of feels exactly what he's supposed to. So it looks like there'll be no further investment. We don't know if one of these MAC-10s will be dropped for an AK in the next round, but what we do know is that with 5 saved in this spot, Vitality could not be happier. The only reason the pistols don't push is because they don't want to give them free money. Ain't no way they're going to get a kill in that retake, so the first buy comes through, and again, trying to see if Vitality are going to get rid of any of their MAC-10s, because there's a situation right here where half armor players will exist. They know that that's very possible based on the economy. So these MAC-10s could be all the more powerful. Pay attention to see if Bit and Electronic take a duel with them.
We didn't see that B hit get tested in any stretch, and so they try to go right back at it. Dupree, he's going to open up. Electronic looking to deliver, but he eats a flashbang. Simple's down in water, though. Deagle popping off. Sumdai Young shaved away. And in an instant, it is Vitality just getting through the guns of Navi. That first one, absolutely free.
Whoa, okay.
Electronic eating a flashbang. It's not the first time that we've seen, these little issues within Navi and getting team flashed. Most notably, I saw Electronic backside Inferno in what could have been, a pinnacle round, just get absolutely team flashed and die for it. And this is a map where we have to question, how smooth is the Navi war machine?
Yeah, I mean, at least in their favor. And, Vitality as the underdogs in the situation have to take it somewhere a little different and a little crazy. And both these guys do not have that many maps played. Now, the smoke misses at the back of Monster, and honestly, it wouldn't even have mattered if it landed because they were going so quickly. They tried to get in front of it, but the spawns were excellent. B-Rush called. Man, that's an easy day in the office for Apex. Clean with it on the execution. Back in the 2018 Astralis days, they had the very best B executes on an overpass. Any Liquid fans will know. They could hit the site, you could have 5 people there, everyone would be blind. With a completely open skybox, it's a sandbox. And you can make that utility go extremely far. Doesn't mean it's going to work every time, but now they're also putting specific pressure on SDY, who's playing the B site in place of Boomage. We haven't yet seen Navi play with SDY on this map. So his skills will be tested as an anchor. Coming up positive so far, but failing on the rush.
There's a gap on that one, but no CT's deciding to push up behind it. Our eyes fall on Bit as he is in a very important position with a very important rifle, the only one that Navi have, and sure enough, there goes Masuda. He turns his attention back down towards Dupree. Now this entire time, he's gonna know he's being pinched, but they have to do something about him. And he will fight every single step of the way. He gets away from the right side. Ooh, and now he's gonna decide to take this fight to Dupree, who knows he's under pressure, but deals with it. Apex can't quite. AK offered to Simple, and now we're playing dangerous games. Apex was very much ahead of everybody else.
Man, that looked very promising for a second, but Now it's not only equally good, but maybe even better for the CT side. However, with Magis, the guy that we talked about, coming into overpass, finding a first head and getting the second frag, not even an opponent shooting back. Electronic, it's a zinger. Great deagle shot, but only one. Utility and a gun picked up here.
Oh, I like that. Passes it over. Neither of which working with armor, of course, but remember, low health on Dupree because of Bit being able to set it up. Sure enough, down into the 1v1, it's Saiwu's clutch to take. Aim punch makes a difference, but talk about costs. Vitality, 4 round wins, but this time 1 survivor.
I think that just equalizes for the last 2 unbelievably clean B execs that came through. Got to appreciate Dupree willing and knowing that he has to eventually take this duel, and Bit closing in on space, and Bit is mad about it.
What you gonna punch, bud?
Yeah, honestly, I think I would rather be Bit in that situation. He already got some damage off, right? He was getting closer and closer, and he knows how much that could have meant. That 1 frag very easily could have also been the round, but it's one that Vitality should have won from the jump.
Yeah, there was nothing that would have stopped him from getting that kill versus Dupree, and then we still get to see Apex die to Simple.
Yeah.
Then that's 2 guns held up, but check this out. Aggression from Navi. Straight through the monster smoke. Simple catching Saiwu with the deep off peak. And with it, Navi's guns net them 5v3.
Wow, the 2 rush down through Monster. Instant with a flash. And now safe and sound are Navi, as all they have to do is pull back, and Vitality have no choice but to respect the amount of space that was just taken. Well, you know, normally you're holding deep, like that pixel on Divider, and Dupree, whoa, hold on. 2 players on the B side die.
And then Bomb leaves.
Masuda gets a bit faster. Simple still keeping an eye on this.
1 shot here from Simple could suddenly take the life right out of it, but there it is. If only Masuda had come around that corner while Simple checked long, that could have been his golden ticket.
Yeah, small moment of time, but he was very responsible there with the way that he fell back. He was constantly keeping most of his attention towards bathrooms.
So it falls back into the hands of Apex. If he really wants to keep Vitality's winning ways going, then it's just 3 CTs between him and 5.
It's a little unorthodox, right? The spot being played right now to defend against this. There is a world where Apex can find the timing.
He's managed to cross around. Bit does a ton of damage, though. Smoke grenade into heaven. No nade here for the CT, so Apex now having to do this with such little health. Gets blinded on the cross, and as he tries to run, he still manages to survive, but too many flashbangs thrown. Some Die Young just guns him down and gives Navi their first.
Yeah, that was overall a very nice round between Simple and the tactic, right? They go through with this very unexpected monster push, and they have a perfect flash timing from SDY to assist in it, and hard shot here from Simple on Saiwu, who doesn't have an op to respond. He's also, again, very responsible, very careful about watching for any type of lurk that could come through. That was the mid-round moments. That could have changed the complexion of the round, but didn't result in anything. So Navi back in the game. You could tell by Bit's reaction earlier, they don't just believe they're going to win this. They know they'll have to work. Even if they're favored, that's easy just from our perspective to say so. They respect the legends on the other side of the server. They've seen them do a lot, many times in the server as well.
Bullets back and forth. They know about each other. Nothing connects, though. This whole time, of course, Saiwu just patiently expecting somebody to try and maybe take that little gander around the side of Connector. It's not there. Bit
phase already in this final to get to this final.
And the way they did it, too.
Yeah, the fashion in which they did it.
Oh, nicely done.
Clean.
Flash assist comes up from the B site. Bit makes the most. Again, perfecto. He then throws another. Oh, and Bit turns it down into Connector. Looking to escape with 17 health. He is a one-man army.
Yeah, chews him up like a tender steak. You give him the keys when you put him in the stairs and you say, peek whatever the hell you want. He calls for the flashes. He's the man set up to shine. The spotlight was on him. And now he can proceed to the back of the stairs. He knows that it's a very low chance that anybody's going to come for him in this spot. Another try mid-round situation. It's this one man that has completely controlled the tempo. This is the difference between a 7-second rotation and a 20-plus second rotation all the way around through spawn. That's why it's so important to have a stairs player. But you don't just put anybody here. You put your best rifler, bottom line.
Just Zaiwu gonna let that time expire. CT is looking for a hunt, but they're not gonna get it. So 2 weapons move forward. Navi a second round win, and one that comes solely off of the back of Bit. And they waited for him, right? He could have any moment gone for a peek into that fight that he had versus Dupree a round ago, but he waited, and he knew, of course, that SDY and Perfecto were going to set him up perfectly.
And look how clean these kills are, right? He literally has enough bullets left in the A1S to get the 3rd kill spraying through the wall because he did the first 2 with such sharpness. Any bit of nervousness can take you off the headshots. Doesn't affect Bit. He's immune.
Mechanical. Here he is, right back at it. Decides to bail, doesn't like that amount of pressure, and I don't blame him. Vitality trying to throw bodies at it, Masuda included. He's the guy with the Tech 9. He is their limitation. So it feels like once the guns come out, it's kind of Vitality's step 1 to just get some more map control, right? Don't die to the 2 players pushing through Monster. Alleviate pressure by getting Bit to fall back. And now at least here in round 7, that's exactly what Vitality have established. The map control they couldn't in those last 2 rounds that Navi pick up. But now Simple's not too far off either.
You can sometimes cost Vitality situations. We've seen them be very structured about the way they leave it in defaults, but okay, there's an opener. Oh, and it looks like Zaiwu's peak. Oh my god, he goes high, then he goes low, shows an elbow. Just back from underneath, the uppercut from Zaiwu.
Slides underneath him. Sumdai Young under pressure. Holding it off from Truck though, first one's his. Then Electronic offers us another kill, 15 seconds. Vitality, I mean, they've just got to keep on pressing in, but no bomb plant's going to be safe. A fight from Electronic and a trade back from Dupree. It's the 2 Danes inside the site, and it's good night. Navi, lock it in.
A lot of that comes down to SDY right there, the first one. That allows for the rotate to come in. If he dies, then suddenly you're back in CT spawn. No one on site. They had the help. Nice kill from Masuda at the very least, and this second peek from Zaiwu, unreal. I mean, I don't know if he baited that purposefully, but it worked. Good awareness of the fight. You can see he didn't overswing. So that's 3 in a row for Navi. Just pistols here for Vitality. SDY top of the board. That's the last thing that Vitality need right now.
Right.
There's a lot of problems at the moment. And they take SDY to a brand new map, and then he pops off, okay, Bit doing more, doing the most.
If I'm not mistaken, right, for all the years that Sumdai Young was playing with Spirit, they did love a little overpass.
Right, yeah.
So
that is the cool part about map pools between these two. Like the one question was maybe Ancient, everything else, he's been good.
So he is right here with the rest of Navi as they continue to collect rounds and keep Vitality at arm's reach. That's 4 rounds, both teams. A tied game after the 4-round streak and a potential to get on fire.
Why don't we contextualize a little bit and take a look at some of the recent overpass matches? Yeah, he's on points overall, but yeah. A fair few times played in 2022. Last map was a good one. New level of competition, however. Most of the teams that he was playing against back then wouldn't hold a candle to Vitality. Oh my god. Again? Oh my god, they do it again. You do not push Monster that often, right? It is one of the hardest and most risky pushes that you can try to pull off on any map. It has become more and more popular, sometimes phasing the smoke, sometimes coming out late when you don't think they're there. But to do it when you expect it with the flash is always risky. You're coming into potential anti-flash. but they've done it now at the beginning of the round twice, and I'm not surprised Vitality weren't ready. Flash coming in.
Chance for another. Oh, but maybe that jump a bit ambitious. Saiwu, he's going to punish him for it. We get Vitality into the man advantage. SDY, he's been everywhere. It's bitten simple. But it's a complicated situation because bomb's been dropped in the open and Dupree is nowhere to be found. He's got to take his time, and time is of the essence. 30 seconds to the clock. Apex just tucked in, and Navi trying to piece together the picture.
Oh, it'll have to be the veterans. Of course, the amount of quiet that's going on right now.
He's turning back, and now everybody's getting nervous.
But they're actually making it at the same time, coming back to this site. Matter of timing.
He cracks it down into Dupree, but Apex, we saw him last time in a clutch attempt, just get lost with all the util. Now he's simply gunned down by Bit, and we've got Navi in a 5-4 lead.
Opens up that situation if he gets a kill on Heaven, right? Rare shot missed by Simple. Could have gone to the right. One of the best plays to 1v1 if you know no one's Heaven is on the right side of the site, but can't win his duel versus Bit. They go back to search, and listen, even though the map gets quiet and people start making noise, at that point, without Apex putting any pressure down on the site, of course you're going to check your flank. And they actually split up to do it, so if there's a world where Dupree goes one way or the other, he has to take a fight, and he also can't get away if he tries to disengage. So it's well handled. But there really wasn't more that Apex could do from his position. He had to wait. Staying alive, as has been talked about, is so key for him. Now there is a lead for Navi. Always causing trouble.
Oh, Bit sure as hell is. 10 kills, 4 deaths.
Yeah, he's a mercenary, man. He's a renegade. They put him in the stairs. He makes the map feel bigger. It's that Nico effect.
Magisk looking to take on a risk. Magisk is a player that the devs were really highlighting because Saiwu isn't their highest rated player on Overpass.
Yes.
It is Magisk. It is meant to be him. But Electronic is killing his teammates. And now Perfecto will have a chance to step up. It's a nearly dead Dupree, but they still are able to just evacuate the monster for now. Minute 20, still plenty of time and no control for Navi anywhere towards this A site. So they have no real clue as to what's up.
They've been really light on the short B pushes, and there's been tons of monster action. And this time it doesn't go so well for Vitality. That was one of their... Dupree has already been tagged low. That communication has been corresponded. Perfecto knows he can just chill.
And
they got to be careful though about this this 40-second timing, right? At the top, the player, if they're pushed up long, they're going to make it their way through bathrooms to make sure it's not A. And Vitality will start to move.
Navi on high alert. 2 players inside of the water. Simple holding cross. Easy. It's Magisk and Saiwu right there with it. Apex trying to claw it back. Jumps into the site, but Simple continuing to cut them down one after another.
Oh.
And Apex is his 4th victim.
Oh, he's putting on a show. He's a turret. They built him in there. Didn't have to move from graffiti. Just a quick pivot over and over again. Just nasty. Unfortunately, I want to use this moment to say, we had some nades coming out. No flashes with that attack. No scaling with the mollies in that position. They threw their nades, they waited, then they moved. So Simple, full view the entire time. But let's move forward. 6 in a row. Opening kill again for Bit. Fast attack from Vitality. Threw that first molly, but it's smoked out. It's understood. They're trying to take some kind of risk with just the pistols that they have.
Bit's got that first one dead. Who follows suit? Oh, the other 2. 4 kills from Bit. And unleash this beast. Let him go hunting for his ace. Let him find that final 5th. Bit's got it with the headshot. Navi keep themselves on fire, and Bit continues to power up.
The kid is taking names.
15 and 4.
And his favorite are French and Danes. He is just keeping this map wide open. And he's even had riflers right behind him, you know, just in case, backup dancers. But he's the star of the show. Ask and you shall receive. It's good. It's good. Ooh. As he was at Stockholm all the way up in the semifinals, #1 rated player at the event. When it came to the big lands, he was back. But his team weren't playing like they are now. That's why NAVI are on fire. That's why this situation looks as scary as it is, as dire here for Vitality as it could be.
We've seen Vitality try to play through the procedures.
And look at how dynamic in terms of the different positions being played. Right now we have SDY helping out with B. Last round he was helping out with A. It is the rifler to support Simple back on the site. Oh, another flick shot hit.
He just doesn't miss, does he? And then he kind of sells the fallback by dropping that smoke. Apex, oh, he comes around and clears the corner. Heads up from Apex not to fall for that bait. And a huge scalp to take as well. Get rid of Simple, and maybe it's just one less problem. And with that one less problem, maybe you find yourself with one more round win. But he walks in, and Sunai Young just survives the op shot. Bit, he's behind Truck, within the fire. He cranks the heat, and he gives it to Vitality. ZywOo tries his damnedest, but Electronic finds that last kill. NAVI, a comfortable 8-4 score.
Can you believe the pristine rifle work coming out of Bit right now? So damn sharp at every single turn. They missed a molly on Optimus. He has a perfect spot to stand in, and he's actually, you know, one-weighing this against them, so they have to trust it. This is letting Magis down when he comes onto the site, knowing that there shouldn't be anybody in this position. And then he just pops off. So even though Simple does give him back a kill where he decided to make the confident move that he didn't absolutely have to, Bit's right there. Bit is right there. SDY, of course, surviving on 1 HP is tragic, but he also finds an opener before that hit comes in. Bit looking for like a plus 2.0 rating in this half with this start. No free wins versus NAVI.
Hell, no free map control. Every step a new test. I don't know if Vitality are well enough studied for a solo AK play versus a NAVI that's hitting this hard. Bit 17 frags now, sitting silently inside of bathrooms, and that internal timing ticks. Bit instead, AK hits the ground. Magisk, meanwhile, hoping to recover inside of Connector. Electronic looks the wrong way, turns the attention back. That Desert Eagle goes down, the bomb right with it. ZywOo hands onto the AK, but a nade with his name on it. And Electronic just illuminating Connector, giving NAVI 9.
The alley-oop with no help required. His own nade, his own spray. SDY right to the jump. Ready to complement all that damage that Bit did with kills. Oh my god, did you just write that sign? It's something that will only matter, of course, if the loss comes in, right? But it does feel like, you know, we're in that position. We also have Magisk on 3 kills who, as already pointed out, in their one big overpass win, he was a hyper carry. 1.30 rating over Heroic, a grueling game. I think we'll see more from the CT side, but doesn't mean you don't have to play both.
Little contact. Simple spots a target, but no casualties. Gonna try to test bathrooms again? Nope. It's a quick redirect. But again, map control has not been an issue all the time for Vitality. They have been given free space in some of these rounds. And this is looking like one of them. They start to clamber over top of the railings, creeping ever closer to a B site where Perfecto, maybe he won't be able to hold this many players back. He peeks into the fire. That's half his health gone. Now he does a ton of damage, and Electronic actually finds one with the fire.
Yeah, he cuts the first head of the Hydro. That's the important one, and the Molly still exists.
And Electronic does too. Locking in these kills. Low HP for the remaining 3 of Vitality. Do they want to take this chance? Because if they do, it could just get slaughtered. And a potential second ace for the side of Navi. They're going to try to run, but Apex, you can't hide. 17 kills for Electronic, all 5 in this one. And Navi are absolutely feasting.
And it finds the refrag for Perfecto. They try to use it to one-way get its damage off. That assists Electronic. Then the flash timing from his teammates here is perfect. Actually, was that Zywoo's? It might have been. My God, he's picking up those pieces, following them every single way they go. They got stalked that round. Round 15 coming up. We've seen basically 15 different setups. Simple being incredibly proactive all over the map. Bit even more so as a player with just a rifle. Impressive to see SEY helping on both sides. When we saw Big get integrated to the team at first, one of the hardest things about it was the fact that Simple is so pervasive. He's rotating all the time, and you just have to respond. You have to be able to play multiple positions. On Inferno, Simple will be lane sometimes. He'll be Arch. He'll be B. That's why he has the most amount of impact, because he has the maximum amount of space. And SDY, he's getting shoved into all of these different new angles, way more than he would have had to play on Mad Lions or Spirit, and he is coming up good.
That he is. You know, it's one of the things Simple kind of gave Electronic credit for was the fact that if somebody on the team feels like they've got an opening or want to make a move, make a change, well, they're allowed to go for those moments. Navi simply vibing. With an 11th CT round queued up. Now, there's an auto sniper on the field somewhere. I want everybody to know that.
Oh, okay.
Simple bought it, maybe left it in spawn, but it's out there. Oh, it's always out there.
Yeah, that would be fun.
Double op setup here to try to close things out with a damning 11th CT round win.
It looks more like Rob's every day, picking up the op every once in a while.
The depth on this kid, but a missed shot and a second that doesn't follow up for him. Meanwhile, 15 rounds deep, and we still have to ask, where is Magisk? If they're going to get a 5th in this first 15, this could be the round he offers it. At the helm of that monster hit, Apex comes around the corner, back of Electronic turned. A double-man advantage that feels like surely Vitality have already got enough. But what about that flash from SDY? How about this hold from Perfecto? Incendiary to the right. Sundai Young turns his attention. Oh! All 3! Sundai Young and Sundai again and again and again. 11-4, 11 rounds straight, and a dominant overpass CT side. With Navi versus Vitality. And before this round starts, I want to take a second. This is a special day, not only because we're here in Lisbon, but because this is Counter-Strike's 23rd birthday. And I want everybody here to give us a Counter-Strike chant. Start with me and keep it going. Counter-Strike! 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 Counter-Strike!
Hell yes.
Not too shabby.
Happy birthday to Counter-Strike.
23 years and going.
The game we can't stop loving.
Zywoo. Oh, man. One with the game. Made for it. But currently being made mincemeat by Navi, him and his teammates. This is a Navi that you just struggle to keep up with. And Zywoo, well, down he goes. Electronic and Simple. 2 additional kills at a CT side that we may never even get to see.
Oh, man, don't say that. This pistol. Look who's
come up. He's seeing the targets, can't hit the shots. Still a chance to get into this. Has to hit a crazy one, but it's perfecto. Mr. Crazy himself. And Magisk, the guy on CT side who needs to deliver, also falls. No kills between the two. 12-4.
Dire circumstances.
Cavernous depth between the rounds of NAVI and Vitality. An unbelievable mental lead, numerical lead. I mean, if you ask anybody on NAVI right now, do they think won this game? They do. They already feel like that. You can see by the way that Simple was playing with his op in that first half.
Yep.
The confidence is there. The belief is there. I mean, Vitality have to prove them wrong. Have to show them why it's not true. Now, I will say we can still look forward to CT side. We can still look forward to CT side. I think on all maps, Vitality are almost consistently better to the point that it's unbelievable. They put up great halves. Nuke was kind of an anomaly with their two recent maps being good on the T side, and that's just a good sign for the health of the team in their map pool. But on Overpass, this is the half that they figured out first. We know how difficult T side can be sometimes. And it looks like the search on this T side round from NAVI has paid off. SDY's got all the info that he needs, which is not seeing a single person.
Absolutely free for the taking. You know, you said that if you were to ask the players on NAVI whether they've already got this one, they would all say yes. And as much as it hurts, if you were to ask that same question to Vitality as to whether they've already lost, I think maybe at least one or two may feel that way. Down in the depths, Masuda, Magisk, rough match.
Man, this is SDY as technically a stand-in, looking to pick up his tournament win.
Oh, okay. It's electronic from top bathrooms instead, but it's still nice and clean, and it's still netting them what they need, which is more and more round wins, getting ever closer to that coveted trophy lift.
He's a player's player. Everybody knows, who has watched CS for a long time, that this guy's always been underrated. He was someone who almost joined NAVI at one point in history. And the rumor said that maybe he wanted to play with his friends, maybe it didn't work out because of logistics, and that this opportunity when he came into this event was the biggest of his life. And now he stands here in the grand finals, 3 rounds away from picking up a trophy with a team you dream of playing with, alongside the best players of all time from your region and in the world in some cases. And potentially not even close.
Oh, but a little bit here from Vitality. The double peek around long just kind of catches Navi asleep at the wheel. They weren't ready for that one. You know, and there will still be the question of Navi's T side, whether Electronic can go ahead and pick up the mantle and own them all again.
Ooh. Man, when you pick off an anchor like that, that can mean a lot. They're not seeing the info on the setup. It's going to be kind of scary. But with the monster smoke down, I don't think Vitality are going to be too scared. They don't have to raise a suspicion about whether they've rotated to the right or left. Flash comes in, Simple will skill. Magisk has to get this kill right now.
Oh, Simple, he's going to be blinded. That flash comes through from Zywoo, certainly helps. Sumdai Young, oh, double kill with the MAC-10. He's looking for the upgrade. He's got the CT separate, but that little moment where he scrambled looking for the upgrade, that is where he's ended. Apex comes in, gives Vitality, at the very, very least, a 5th.
Yeah, no, a little scary. Nice couple of kills at the end. Vitality overall picked him off. Great push here on the A side. I think that was the big one. Some money made, actually. $600 per off these 2 frags. In the early portion of this half, that could make a difference. But the tactic comes through, and what did we see from Vitality? And basically every single map was playing way too passive to begin with. They start off with some aggression, they win the round. Playing to win.
They have to. They've got to fight. They've got to fight. They've got to keep it up.
The flash is so late. Dupree's waiting. It doesn't come through.
Oh, but there's a little bit of a recovery boost from Masuda. Doing to NAVI what was done to them. Vitality get back a man advantage. Another 3vx, but this time it's not 2 MAC-10s and only Simple with the AK.
Yeah, this is about reading the rotation, right? Oh, they're really close to the smoke, and it's actually not out of the map, but they are dedicating 2 players to this push. The move is coming in somewhat fast. Perfecto will not be able to watch theirs with a bomb on his back, and they're actually kind of worried about it. I mean, Vitality, they did their job, right? They got their info, they got their kills. How could this go wrong?
Tronic toying with it, runs away. Of course, that will be heard. Perfecto passes him another flashbang. Bit at the front of it all. Comes in, clears the corner. Whoa! And Apex!
No way he's that fast!
Just guillotines Apex as he tries to come out from dumpster. Masuda fast on that flank. Bomb planted within the dice. A smoke gives cover to the cross. Now we've got 2 Ts locked in a truck. How the hell do Masuda and Magisk manage to piece this together? They don't have a smoke to cover. They do have a kid. Perfecto in the same corner. Crossfire set. There's another. At least one goes down. It falls onto Magisk. His back turn. And Navi 2 away.
What in the hell was that from Bit? How did he get that second kill? I cannot believe the speed of this trade.
Just mechanical mastery.
Oh my God. That was slow down. It looked like a normal shot. I mean, Apex, of course he's not ready to shoot. How can you react to that? That is unbelievable. And it's the kill that makes the round. Bit, 2-way player coming off CT side, extremely hot. White hot. On the T side, getting the refrags they need. I asked, how does Vitality lose that round? I guess that's got to be the only way.
Yeah, because Bit decides it's over.
Yeah, he just wanted to get through this. He's got dinner plans.
Really nothing standing between Vitality, Navi, and their 15th round. Navi can sense it, blood in the water. We're talking about a team that knows how to win, with a new guy ready to do it for the very first time. There's something from Magisk, but it is far too little, far too late. And a Simple comes around.
Okay.
You make sure you take down the king when you come for the crown instead. Simple clears out that bomb site, plants right there with it, and a 15th locked in for Navi. 10 map and match points in Lisbon.
Oh my God, yeah, they've nearly completed it.
Oh, poor Dupree can't even find Perfecto with his back turned. Nothing is easy when it comes to killing Navi.
Brimming with confidence, trying to stave off defeat for as long as possible before you can really look to your team and tell them, yeah, we can do this. You've just got to hope you win some rounds at first. And we just saw hope get taken away, right? That 4v3 situation, full flanks, 2 tactics, aggressive plays that all worked out beautifully, and then they lose. Nothing will feel worse. They put their best foot forward and still got tripped. Completely swept. We saw FaZe in the situation losing so badly and literally smiling because they didn't know how they could have won, even if they had a second chance. That's the position that Vitality are in right now.
And this just goes to show us that Navi truly can be the best. The talent runs so deep. And Sumdai Young, the newest gun on Navi, has slotted right in and shoots right through this B-bomb site. Saiwu, Dupree, a desperate situation in a 2 versus 4 as they try to keep Navi site, a bomb plant that cannot be stopped. Despite Saiwu's best efforts, it is again him against the world. He tries to encroach ever closer, but once more Bit from the side of it, and a single kill. There it is! Perfecto, the cherry on top, as Navi have turned around and dominated not only the major champions of FaZe Clan, but the best version of Vitality that we have ever seen. Teams designed to defeat them, but nobody can take down Navi.
How are you going to find a Colossus bigger than that? Whatever you throw at them, they come back. 2021 was theirs, and they're looking to prove that that doesn't end now.
To think, of some Dai Young's position, coming through short notice as a stand-in to slot in with some of the world's best. For NAVI to return to Lisbon, a city that has been a spectacular Counter-Strike crowd, to try again versus two of the players that took it from them last time. Spree and Magisk, they couldn't replicate that success. But these players right here, draped in the flag of Ukraine, the best player to ever do it, defeating his biggest challenger. Time and time again, Lisbon, it is one more time I ask of you, everyone together, give it up for the Blast Spring Final Grand Champions, NAVI! So, Blade, does this mean another Instagram post?
Oh, absolutely. For sure, man.
How proud are you of these guys who managed to pull this off? Overpass was incredibly impressive.
I'm very proud. It kind of looks like we dominated them, and it looks very easy in the final, but it's not. It's only one event.
It's only one event. Sasha, it's been a few events without trophies. It's been a tough time for you. Does this one mean more?
Yeah, this one is another good trophy to our collection. I just want to say happy birthday to my girlfriend. I know she's sitting somewhere here. Happy birthday, Arena. Love you, love you, love you, love you, love you.
Electronic, I know you don't give me words, but how good does it feel to win as the IGL?
It's incredible feelings. I'm really happy about that. Thanks everyone for cheering us. Hope we can show that game in future, you know.
Definitely, definitely. Now, SDY, your first big trophy. You were the first man to lift it as well. Was that everything you dreamed of?
Yeah, it is.
Enjoy it. And obviously your first event for NAVI, you come in as a stand-in. You put up a great performance on Overpass. Very impactful. Did you imagine this moment?
Yeah, I imagine it almost every day of my life, actually.
Wow.
It's a really good moment.
And what do you think of this crowd? Is this the right crowd to do it in front of?
I can hear you right now.
That's all right, that's all right. Perfecto.
Yeah.
Another trophy, you've done it again.
I just want to say,
A bit Overpass. That was damn good.
Yeah.
Big smile on your face again. You're young and you're still getting it done. Anything you want to say to all the fans out there? Lisbon, make some noise one last time for your Blast Premier Lisbon champions, NAVI!
They came, they saw, they conquered. NAVI dictated